Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast at Denver Comic Con 2014 and beyond. I am Ryan. In front of me is
James.
And in my chair is
Brad.
And we are joined by a special guest. Introduce yourself to the listeners, sir.
Hi, my name is Ben Urbach. I'm a local filmmaker, I suppose you could say.
Oh, yeah? Ben, what films have you made?
I've made a vast a variety of films over the past couple of years. Leaving Spencer, Motions of the Park, just some short films, mostly through the film school. And
Hold it like it's a cock.
gotta get it up here into my.
Like, see how
Is that a little too much right there?
Oh God!
See how Brad has it? Like he's just ready to suck that dick. That's how you want to do
This
it.
is where I want it, right here.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, sorry.
It helps if you jiggle some balls.
Just juggle right here.
Yep,
All right.
that's nice. What got you into filmmaking?
You know, I kind of always knew that I wanted to be a filmmaker. I think it was Raiders of the Lost Ark for me, was the movie that...
James just got an erection.
No. Just because we're sharing a couch, you don't have to be afraid. Oh, don't touch me.
James loves it.
It was definitely Raiders that got me into filmmaking. I don't know, somewhere along the way I kind of forgot about that. I went to school for journalism, of all things.
Huh.
Tried to be a sports broadcaster, ESPN kind of nonsense like that. Randomly went and saw Inception one night, and that kind of reminded me of what I always knew was in my heart, and was just filmmaking and telling stories to people and connecting with them that way.
Cool.
So, so big filmmakers are your.
Get off the side like this.
Gotcha.
And I forgot my question.
Sorry.
No, it's not you. It's Brad.
It's
I'm a
always
novice
Brad.
at this microphone
it's-
thing.
It's okay, we should have told you before.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
directional
We
mics.
kind of rushed into
so you
this.
have to just.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm holding it off to the side.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right
So-
in front of my face.
What in particular about those two movies made you want to do movies? Was it the magic of them?
I think it was just the way that they were able to get me to feel while watching them, how they were just made me excited at the right times, and how they made me, concerned and worried and hopeful all at the same time. And it was just the connection that I had with Spielberg or with Nolan at the time, and it just it was visceral, It was real.
So, a filmmaker, do you lean more toward? Do you write and direct?
I do.
And what do you prefer more? Are you a director or a writer first? Or
I guess it depends on the stage of the process. Which hat I'm wearing. I enjoy both equally. I love creating the stories and creating those characters, and then taking them and working with the actors and the cinematographers and the editors and the production designers and all those different people. I love working with them and collaborating with them and bringing these people to life.
do you remember the first movie that you wrote?
The first movie that I wrote was a adaptation of The Giving Tree.
I love that.
And
poem.
Oh, wow.
and it was more about, instead of a tree, it was about a car. And it was a short film. I never made it. Haven't actually gotten a chance to make that one yet. But it's about a car and a boy to man's relationship as he grows from a kid to an adult. His relationship with his car.
It's kind of like Transformers.
Yeah, it was exactly Transformers. And then
That's why you never made it.
And
It's
then
just,
Michael Bay
this-
came to me and he said, "Hey, I'm going to make this exactly like you wrote it,"
and I'm not going to pay you.
which turned out not to be true.
So that was the first one you wrote. Was it the first one you wrote where you said, I can write a movie and I can make it? Or was the first screenplay that you wrote that you knew you could make it into a movie?
I think that one was the first one that I knew I was going to make one day. It's not dead, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that one, was probably the first one that I figured I would actually make. The first one that I actually made was terrible, obviously. I think it was just a matter of I didn't want my what's the word I'm looking for? My my vision, my whatever it is. I didn't want it to be corrupted by anything, which sounds a little
Perfectionist.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, but I put it on the back burner. Made a couple movies I'm not too excited about, but now we're moving forward with one that I'm actually really, really, really excited to get started here.
Cool. I'll get into that one in a second. So, did you go to school for filming, or did you just study movies and then you had an eye for the directing part?
No, I'm currently I'm actually at the Colorado Film School in
cool.
Denver. It's a great place. That's kind of where I started, and hopefully that's where I'll get to call home for a little bit longer.
Is it bad that I actually kind of wanted my cat to bite that, maybe get electrocuted, and then I won't have to worry about it anymore? Like Gremlins, that'd be sweet.
Wouldn't be your problem anymore.
Yeah.
No, it'd be like Christmas Vacation, when that cat crawls up underneath the chair and just...
Yep, that'd be awesome.
Man.
Be a great day for everybody. So you're in Colorado Film School, and what are you filming right now? You said you're really excited about a project you're working on right now.
So last spring, the Colorado Film School put on somewhat of a contest for one of their classes, the creative producing class, wherein they would choose 3 projects out of however many to throw some money at, and they would get to make their short film. I was lucky enough that my script was chosen as the winner, so they gave us some money, and we're going forward with that production now. It's called River Bridge. It's about a recent widower who is kind of living his life day to day. He's suicidal, so he never really expects himself to make it to tomorrow, and that's kind of the story, is him understanding that there is a tomorrow for him personally.
And is this a short film?
It's a short film right now. What it is it's actually a sizzle reel, which is what we'll do is we'll take that 15-minute excerpt almost of a story, of a feature, and bring it to potential investors and show them what we can do and say, hey, this is a story in and of itself, but it can be a feature, and it is a feature, and you give us money, you get behind us, and we can make something really special.
And how do you find investors? I'm always curious on that, because I read a biography. Well, it's not really a biography. I guess it's behind the scenes of Evil Dead. And Sam Raimi would just go to banks and businesses and ask for money, and that's how he got it. Is that how you do it now in film?
There's so many different ways. One of our professors likes to tell a story about how he got funding for one of his independent features through potato farmers.
What?
Potato farmers, yeah. They're surprisingly really rich, and what it is they don't really know too much about filmmaking, so they obviously think it's this novel thing to get involved with. So one guy donates to the project maybe $20,000 or so, and then he tells his potato farming buddy, and it's like, oh yeah, I want to do that too, and hey, I'm going to throw some money at it as well. We were lucky. One of the judges through this contest is actually a investment capital guy, so we already have that something of a connection. So maybe that's something that we can go to him first. I mean, I'm not saying it's a guarantee or anything like that. I'm saying that it's a person that we can at least approach.
That's good. We interviewed Michael Uslan, who's a producer of the Batman movies, and he said anytime someone opens a door for you, kick it open. Don't just peek in, just
Exactly.
knock it down. So yeah, knock that stuff out. So are you more of a serious kind of filmmaker, or?
I am a storyteller, I guess would be the pretentious way of putting it.
Oh my God, there's so many of them in the film industry.
I don't. If it's a comedy, if it's a horror, if it's a thriller, if it's a romantic comedy, I don't. If I am into those characters, if I'm invested in them, if I have something that if I read the script and I can see it and I can see the movie in my head, then I'm on board. I'm. It doesn't matter. I just want to tell a really good story.
Very cool. How'd you meet Brad?
I met Brad at a mutual friend's birthday party. The one, the only Cougar Littlefield.
Oh, he's
yeah.
on the show again.
I
That's
think
good. Brad usually meets his guys at whorehouses, so
Oh, God damn it.
Little variety, special life.
Oh.
I don't even know how to defend myself.
Just no,
right
there was
now.
just no subtlety to that. You just can't. You just go, yeah, I guess so.
Oh, by the way, I always try to derail conversations. Welcome to my podcast.
I'm enjoying every minute of this.
Right on.
Good, you're the only one right now.
James isn't even listening. He's probably reading
No,
about
I'm
the death
searching
of
the internet.
somebody. I already know there's a death of somebody in the news.
there is. Great.
And-
Way
and
to
Ja-
spoil the
and-
podcast,
and-
right? I'm
and
going
Ja-
home.
And James is going to lead with that. He's like, "Yeah, this guy's dead."
Well, is there more news to talk about? Come on.
So you met Brad at a party. Was Brad drunk?
I think Brad was pre-drunk.
Yeah.
He was-
He was on his way.
He's going to do his best to forget the conversation he had with you.
And then I approached him, and he was like, "Yep, I'm getting drunk today."
I was so
Nice.
drunk that I thought the pool was made out of whiskey, so I was just hovered over the pool, just like sucking out down that water.
Oh,
Can't
God.
even tell the difference.
Chlorine. He's dying. So, is there a place we can watch any of your films right now?
Right now, everything is on my Vimeo page, and I think if you just search Jabroni Films, which is the production company.
Nice.
Yeah, it is.
Like The Rock? Dude, I'm a huge Rock fan.
No, not like The Rock.
Well, then I don't like you
He
anymore.
spells it wrong. It's Jibroni Films. You can see some of the earlier stuff there.
And where did that name come from?
I'm half Italian. It's Italian slang for moron,
Nice.
jackass, dumbass. So
I guess you can't take yourself too seriously. Huh?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. Believe me, not at all.
So you don't have your own website for yourself?
Not yet. We have a Twitter account. If that counts as
Sure.
a
And the Twitter is?
Brad will make you a website.
No. I
Brad
don't
loves
do
making
websites.
websites. Brad, if you can give Brad
Go to-
$2, he's like, you know what? I'll make the websites for free. He loves it so much.
And then he'll webmaster it for you for
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
For free.
Yeah, I'll do it for the rest of my life.
for life.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm so excited the one I did in 2005, 2006. I finally don't have to run anymore.
Nice.
It's liberating.
Nice. So what's your Twitter handle, sir?
My personal Twitter handle is at Benjamin Erbach, ERBACH. We also have one set up for the film, so you can follow along and during the pre-production and production, post-production, get all the cool news and pictures and fun film school stuff like that. It's at Riverbridge Film.
Cool. And how far along are you in the pre-production?
We are, let's say, the 4th,
Mm-hmm.
or as we're recording, it's the 4th. So we're 20 days away.
Very cool. And
Wow.
is that when
Away.
cameras roll?
Cameras roll in 20 days, yeah.
Wow.
Good
Getting
location
exciting.
scouting tomorrow.
It's, yeah, going location scouting tomorrow. Exciting is one way to put it. Nerve-wracking. I think my hairline started about here, and it's gone up about an inch since we started. So it's, you got to be crazy to do this kind of stuff, and I love every minute of it. But
Very cool.
Are you an actor's director, or are you a dick director like Brad over here?
He doesn't mean like I'm mean. I direct physical
dicks,
Dicks.
Yeah.
He's really
I
good
make
at
people pull
directing
down
your
their
dick.
pants and just like, okay,
He's like, you're a
start
little
moving
flaccid.
around.
I need that like half erect.
Yeah.
fluffer, please. We need
Yeah.
Stunt cock.
He is also the fluffer.
I guess I'm an actor's director. I personally like to sit down with each of them and kind of figure out what's true together. I don't like to sit down and say, "Hey, this is what I think. Do it," because then it's just if what I put on the screen is right from my brain, then no one is going to be interested in that, because I think that's just the obvious. But when 2 people or 3 people or 4 people or however many people get together, they can come up with something that's going to be a little more unique, a little more inviting to the audience that way.
Cool.
Very cool. You guys have any questions?
No. I
What's
thought you were
your-
just going to keep going.
What's your dream project?
My dream project
Working with me anytime, sir.
is is coming on Real Nerds and being the 4th.
Wow, you're you
My
have low
dream project
standards.
is like Batman.
Yeah.
You know?
Good answer.
If I could do, it's kind of like upsetting that all these really good movies have already been made.
So, do you like the Affleck Batman?
Okay, my initial reaction was probably the same as everyone's, which was horror. But you know what? The more I thought about it, I think it kind of makes sense. His being cast. I think it makes sense. I think with Henry Cavill, which I think is how you say his last name.
Yeah,
I'm not really
sure. Why not?
He's English, whatever.
He's
Playing an all-American hero.
new
Not
enough.
listening.
He's not really established. And in the first in Man of Steel, they had Lawrence Fishburne. They had Richard Schiff. They had Amy Adams there to help carry the load dramatically, and they got rid of some of those people. Richard Schiff, obviously. So I think bringing someone who has clout, who has acting chops, directing chops, even. I think that is going to help lessen the load for Henry in this second film, and whoever they bring in for Lex Luthor will probably be the same. Will do help to take some of that weight off of his shoulders, and people can accept the two of them together as on screen.
That is such a director's answer.
It is.
Like that was so much like the mathematician of casting. Yeah, it wasn't like the any of our answers would be like, oh yeah, because I think he's badass. That was like yes, there is a certain amount of dramatic weight, and he can carry quite a bit of it, and that was good. I like that.
I'm an
I hadn't
Affleck
thought of it
fan,
that
so
way.
I enjoyed. I think the
I
casting's
think
good.
people are still focused on Giggly and all that kind of stuff. They don't take into account the town and Argo, and those were really well done, and he was a very big part of the reason why.
Runner.
Runner. I mean, he feeds crocodiles. I'd only see that movie because I hope he feeds somebody to a crocodile.
I'd only see that movie for him, which is the craziest thing. Because 2 years ago, if you'd asked me about Ben Affleck, I'd be like, "Fuck you."
Really? He made The Town 2 years ago. That movie's
Yeah.
awesome.
I would. The town did not convince me enough.
He was the bomb in Phantoms, yo.
Yeah. Phantoms. Awesome. Hey, Ben, thanks for hanging on the show with us today. We appreciate it.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
If you've never listened to Real Nerds Podcast, every week we go see a new movie, and this week we saw Gravity in 3D. First time we saw 3D. That's the first time I've seen 3D in
A while.
what's the last movie we saw in 3D? The Hobbit?
We've seen one at the Alamo. I know we've seen one at the Alamo
I
because
saw
it's
Star
not
Trek in 3D.
Star Trek. Yeah.
I did not
saw
see Star Trek in 3D.
Oh, okay. Were you? Well, anyway.
No, you did not take me, James. I went and saw Star Trek on my own.
Really? Why? Were you out of town?
I don't know what was going on. Probably.
There was some reason. Yeah, there was some reason because I know I saw it with my folks. I think
I
the
was
first time.
opening a restaurant for my.
Yes,
stupid
that
company.
is what happened.
But yeah, I think that's the first 3D movie I saw since The Hobbit.
Wow.
Pretty sure.
I'm
Good for you,
okay
man.
with that. Yeah, like we'll talk later about whether or not the 3D in this movie is worth it. But as far as that fad going away,
No, what about Oz? You saw Oz in 3D, right?
oh,
I did not
No.
see it in 3D.
you're right. We didn't see it in 3D.
Mm-mm.
Why do I feel like I saw it in the 3D?
Yeah, no, we didn't.
This
Huh.
is fascinating for the listeners.
Yeah, it is.
Remember this
If you
shit.
can remember what movie Ryan's on 3D, please
Yeah.
tweet the show.
Avid listeners, Cora, write us and tell us
Yeah.
what movies we've seen this year because we forgot.
Of course, when we have a guest on, we always open the show with a guest. Thanks again, Ben. And we also have fan mail. I have a comic book. We talk about stuff we've been watching, some movie news. Someone died this week, of course, for James.
Mm-hmm.
He's our black cloud here,
The Grim Reaper of movies.
the Grim Ripper of real news. And yeah, box office numbers.
DVD
That's coming
releases.
out. Yeah,
We'll get there.
all movie stuff. We have lots of fun with movies. I hope you.
We're a film podcast.
We
talk
are a
about
film
films.
podcast. Hopefully you.
And at some point, we'll talk about our dicks, just at random.
Oh, we
Yeah.
already said. Well, yeah, we've talked about some dicks.
Some dicks.
My dick was discussed.
Yep. That's how we do it. I
Yeah.
mean, that's how we do it. And remember, you're on the internet, sir, so you can say whatever you want.
It's no broadcast standard here.
Yeah, none. No one's going to
Oh,
bring us down.
there are no standards,
There are no
and if there
standards.
are, we don't like to talk about them.
No standards. So, hey, you know what's crazy? We have, fan mail this week.
What?
A few, guys. A few. Fan mail! Just so you know, we always stop, too, because we interstitial stuff, so... if we stop talking and you're like, hey, what these guys stop talking? Isn't this a podcast? That's why.
Yeah.
If you couldn't If you've never listened to our show, I won't blame you.
None of this will make air. That's what I have to say.
What's really cool is every once in a while we are delighted with real celebrities who tweet us and or respond to questions we ask. And this week we got a good one. Me and James have been proud supporters of Angel and Faith. And this week, James tweeted the writer of that, Christos Gage, and asked if they're going to make hardcover copies of the Angel and Faith books. I don't know if you've seen the Buffy ones for season 8. They're gorgeous.
Yeah. Basically, I just want to throw money at Christos Gage and Rebecca Isaacs.
Yeah,
Like,
because
I don't need them. I own all the issues, but those books are just
what's really cool about them, though, I don't know if you like the Buffy ones are big, and I mean the pages are bigger,
oversized.
It's really nice.
They're not quite art size, because actual comic book issues are drawn much larger than the page. They're not quite that big, but they're those sort of collector edition size.
So he was nice enough to say, I think eventually there will be, just not sure when.
Cool.
So hopefully we'll get those soon because we love them, and I love her. Rebecca Isaacs is such a great artist. I can't wait to see what she does next.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Maybe Buffy.
There's
There's an empty slot on in the Buffy seat. She could draw Buffy.
There is. We also got an email from Steve Bissett. Hopefully I said that right, Steve.
Bissett.
Bissett?
I don't know. I'm guessing. I haven't. Yeah.
Bessette.
Sure. Bissett.
Cool.
Bissett.
Steve B. from...
If you're listening to this, Steve, you can email us and say we're idiots because we don't know how to pronounce it.
Or email us and say, why are you saying my last name on the internet?
Or you can use our amazing voicemail system and actually pronounce your name for us, calling 720-6nerds5.
Oh, yeah, call us.
That works too.
Yeah, you can call us. We did get a phone call from Jason Statham. I don't know if you heard it last week or a couple weeks ago. It was pretty good.
Yeah. I love it when he calls.
I know. He's such a cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's always asking about wires, though. It's really weird. He says, what up, nerds? Obviously, I have only seen about 1/10 of the movie in quick spurts while running Carnivore Zaws and picking up...
Oh, it's Steve!
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And picking up order cards at the Alamo Draft House. But I saw something interesting I wanted to ask you guys about. By the way, the Carnivore Pizza at the Alamo is so money, it's not even funny.
Yeah, I ate one tonight. I'm going to eat another one tomorrow.
Basically, with all the porn and boobies and dime this and porn and dime that and porn and porn... he's talking about Don John.
Yeah.
And they call, a 10 girls a dime.
And we haven't explained yet, Steve is a waiter at the Alamo Draft House.
He is.
So that's why he only sees snippets.
This looks like a terrible date movie. Most of my guests were couples where the guy was really enjoying it more than just JGL's douchey quips. I even had one guy literally crying from laughter while trying to order another beer. Awesome.
Well, he'd probably had too many beers.
And the lady was sunken into her chair, arms crossed, totally not digging the mirage of boobs and pornification on screen. Now, Ryan brought his lady. Steve, I'm married, so she has to come with me no matter what. I wanted to know if James and Brad would have brought a lady to the movie, and if the viewing would have been different had Ryan and Lori. Oh, that's so cute. My wife's name is Laura, but on the show, when she's around, I always call her Lori because it's like my nickname for her.
Yeah.
So we know he listens to the show.
Yeah,
thanks, Steve.
that's adorable.
Gone to the show as a date without James or Brad, hanging on like lonely roommates who don't have ladies.
You did.
You are no longer my favorite, Steve.
Good for dates or no? My wife really wanted to see this movie.
Yeah, to be fair, she was going to be pissed enough if we went without her.
If I did not take, I mean, what do you guys think? I think it's a date movie. I don't think it's.
It's a date movie if you're cool seeing a movie that is smart and interesting with a date. It's a movie you have to be paying attention to, and yeah, if she's going to be turned off by there being a whole lot of porn.
There's not that much porn in it.
There's enough porn that there's probably yeah. I mean, there's a lot of porn.
It's not that bad.
It's
like quick clips though.
Yeah, but it's a lot of porn for a not porn movie.
You know what? You should watch more porn, James. then maybe you wouldn't think the Game of Thrones was out of line and stuff. And
that's not why I think the Game of Thrones is out of line. I think you could. If it were like a first date, probably not the best idea.
Why?
Because you have no idea how that person's going to react to it. You know, in the same way that I wouldn't, I don't think that like The Prisoners would be a great first date movie.
See, I disagree. I think if you ever
of
have,
course, then there's something to talk about at least.
yeah,
but-
if you ever have a movie and you're going on a date, I mean, always offer it up. I don't think it's, to me, I don't think, to answer your question, I don't think the porn is really that big of a deal in the movie. There is some parts in it, but I don't think it defines what the movie is. And you're at a disadvantage, Steve, because you're going in and out. So there could be times when, I mean, at the beginning it's like flash, 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 and it's kind of a take on how the media is, infiltrating you with tons of
sort of teaching you to be super sexist.
Because there's a great
and-
scene where there's John and John, Tony Danza and JGL are sitting at the kitchen table, and that chick is eating a Carl's Jr. burger.
Yeah, it's basically your standard Carl's Jr. commercial.
Yeah, and it's just like basically porn, and it's a take on it.
Yeah, and the guys are just staring at it, and ladies are like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Like, why?
Brad, would you take a girl to see Don John?
It just depends on like how well you know the girl. Like if you were,
Yeah.
if that date, like you were just getting to know her on that date, like that was your first introduction, probably not. But if like it's a person you've known for a little while or something, you're going on your first date, like yeah, maybe.
Really, I don't think it's that big of
I
a
don't-
deal.
it
Depends
I
on
don't
the
think it's
girl. Like
Really?
It
Yeah.
could be a good litmus test, though. I mean, if she could survive with you through that first date, that's,
Yeah.
there's a keeper.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely. But I do think, like, if you wanted to, and some of this has to do with how I feel about that movie, but if you wanted to have a fun night and have a enjoyable experience getting to know somebody, and like make a fun memory, I don't know that it's that movie. But I'm
But you
I
can't really,
don't know.
can't really make a memory without a little risk. No, I think
Yeah.
that
It's
movie
true.
would be risky.
Yeah, if
Have you
you'd
seen
be
the
walking
movie,
out of there
Ben?
and
Yeah,
Would you take a girl to see it?
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
I don't think it's an issue. I mean, maybe it's
Yeah,
just because
I'm
I've
not-
been married for so long. I don't.
I'm
know.
not saying it's a drop dead fucking no. Do not do that. I'm just saying like I can see why somebody wouldn't.
I think I think she would have to be intelligent and
Yeah,
understand that
right.
it's not like the intent of the film isn't to glorify porn or anything like that. It's
And if let's say she is a chick flick addicted woman who really just likes having you around so that you do stuff for her, yeah, she's not going to like that movie. she's going to walk
if
out
she's
of it
like
and
Scarlett
dump your ass.
Johansson's character in that movie. Then
Yeah,
maybe
if
not.
she is exactly like Scarlett Johansson,
I would say
then,
that couple in that email though is probably not headed for fun times ahead.
Yeah, well, he's an alcoholic and she's not paying attention to the movie, so yeah, that's definitely not going to work out.
This is so funny. He has a little last paragraph here. Also, the only guy my girlfriend said she'd ever leave me for would be JGL.
Fair.
So should I bring her to see this as to put a bad taste in her mouth?
No,
Or
not at
will
all.
it backfire since JGL is probably really good at putting taste and things in ladies' mouths?
This
Your
is
Alamo
not a-
friend, Steve.
It's thank
that
you.
would be
Thanks, Steve. That was awesome.
that would be a badge of honor to be Eskimo brothers with JGL.
Yeah. I mean,
nice Eskimo.
You
Brothers
high
drop.
five
That
your
was
girl
really good.
afterward, and like nice.
yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think. The thing is his character in that. I don't think it'll make people not like him less
No.
because he's actually he's not a bad character, and that's why I think I said it on last week's podcast that it really should be called Don John's Addiction.
Yes.
because it's dealing with a different kind of addiction that you're not used to seeing. Everyone's done the alcohol or the drugs, but you've never seen someone addicted to something like that where it actually affects his character. And then, my favorite scene in that whole movie is still the mop scene when they're in the in the store and he's going to get a Swiffer.
Yeah.
And she blows him off because it's interesting the parallels where, is his porn really that bad or is her idealized version of romance a lot worse is
Yeah.
a great question to ask people.
I agree. That is not a movie where you don't like JGL.
No, actually, I think you kind of like him a lot after it because
Yeah.
his character grows a lot in that movie.
And even when he's douchey, like there's these little, snippets into who he really is that you like. Yeah, he's just charming as hell when he's standing there in those clubs at the beginning talking about like quantifying ladies, and you're just like, this is gross. You're fantastic.
Yeah.
No, don't take your girlfriend to see this movie. She'll just want that guy more. So
Yeah. He looks pretty good in it. He's working out all the time.
Yeah.
Remember, it's his body, his pad, his porn, all right?
his ladies,
His car,
his car,
It's church.
his
his
church,
his
my
money,
porn,
my
boys.
poor,
my
bo-
boys.
my boys.
Yeah. And then the last thing is Dan asked me if I could remember this, so hopefully I don't mess this up. He he said he really loved Gravity's. Gravity has really some long, beautiful shots in it,
Yeah.
and he wanted to know if Alfonso Cuarón is. Does he have any more movies where he has shots like that? And would you recommend movies that have shots like that to him?
Doesn't Children of Men, like, the first 15 minutes is all a single shot?
Yeah,
It is,
Well,
yeah.
but
As it
he
was-
said that. Like he said he likes
Yeah,
Children of Men.
yeah.
As it was in Gravity, the first 15 minutes was
Yeah.
one tracking shot.
The majority of this movie is. Anyway, we'll get to that.
If he's looking for, he should check out a movie called The Player, by Robert Altman.
That's right.
That's got a really, really interesting. I think it was 15 minute opening shot that tracks through a movie studio. A lot of coordination had to go on for that one.
The other really obvious ones are Boogie Nights and Magnolia, especially Boogie Nights, though. The whole opening shot from Boogie Nights is, I mean, people talked about that for years.
I think that movie Snake Eyes with Nicolas Cage, the beginning of that.
Really? I haven't
I
seen
don't
that
remember
forever
it at
man.
all.
I think that was the big draw for that one.
That
and
is
everything else after
that's a
that
deep
sucked.
cut. Does you're a Harry Potter guy? Does Azkaban have that at all? Does he even get the chance to do
I
that?
don't think so. Prisoner of Azkaban is my favorite Harry Potter movie.
Yeah,
Really?
it's coherent.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I love Deathly Hallows Part 2 as well.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Thank you.
But
Is he being serious or is he?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was his favorite movie that year.
Wow.
It's okay. I really like Prometheus. So
I like Prometheus. But I'll do a spoiler too for what we've been watching. I watched a movie called Tamra this week, and Jeffrey Reddick, who we'll see tomorrow at Mile High Horror, wrote that movie. And I'm not even joking. It's an independent horror movie. There is a 15-minute tracking shot in that movie
wow.
where I'll talk about it later.
That Elizabeth Olsen movie. Speaking of
Safe
horror,
House, yeah.
Was it Safe House? Is that what it's called? Okay. Yeah,
Silent
where that,
House?
Silent House. Silent House. That's what it's
Safe
called.
House was the Denzel Washington one.
Safe House is a Disney movie starring the girl who does the voice for Leela on Futurama.
Katie Seagal.
Yeah. I think there's also a Safe House starring Patrick Stewart. Anyway.
But yeah, Silent House. Yeah, it's literally an hour and a half of one shot. So,
Maybe two.
well, I mean, you can see where it's cutting.
They might have faked one shot, but
Well, there's parts where like the camera like zooms in really close and it cuts and it goes away.
Oh.
So, I mean, if you're like me and have seen film a bunch, you know where they're cutting it. But
Yeah.
it plays like one shot, so it's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
But honestly, I don't know that there's really anything else.
Or
like
you know what?
Children of Men.
Halloween, the very first shot, is a steady cam of Michael
Dude,
Myers going in the house.
All the steady shots in Halloween are fantastic. Partially because that was the first time when like a big movie like that could use. They had just invented that steady cam that like attaches around your waist, so that's why he uses it like crazy in that movie. But I honestly don't think there's anything else like Children of Men. As
Yeah.
far as like really dynamic, long action sequences, things like the way that he builds the car, the way he built the cars for that movie, so that the camera could move inside the car, so that as the camera would move, actors would actually get pulled out of the car and then pulled back into the car to make room for the camera. Shit like that is insane.
There's a great
Like-
behind the scenes featurette about that car.
Yeah.
That car rig. It's fantastic how they did it.
Yeah,
I remember at The World's End, he's fighting a bunch of aliens, and it's one long shot.
Oh, that's right.
It's zooming in and out. I'm sure there's cuts in it, but it plays
Yeah.
as one long shot.
The
Yeah.
new Total Recall had that
That's
Oh,
right.
high-speed
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
That was cool. Yeah.
So hopefully we
A lot
answered
of
your question, Dan. So now you have a lot of movies to check out.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Thanks.
the truth is, I don't think there's anybody like Alfonso Cuarón.
No.
Yeah.
He's very visionary.
Which sucks because it took him 7 years to make another movie.
Yeah. Most movie was supposed to come out in
A year and a half ago, yeah.
But
Definitely
Really
was supposed to be
complicated.
2012, but
anyways, thanks guys. Everybody wrote in.
Didn't you get a tweet
Did I get a tweet?
about Robert Downey Jr.?
Oh, that's right. I did
That's
get a
right.
tweet. So I'm doing this new thing where every day I'm reposting this for Robert Downey Jr. to please come on my show.
even though Robert Downey Jr. does not have a Twitter.
No, but I'm putting.
So we can't. No. I'm just saying, like, we
Yeah.
can't reach out to him directly.
Exactly. It's
So it's
hard.
got to be like, just
so I'm,
keep going.
I know I'm hashtagging Iron Man and all this stuff in it. Just Robert Downey Jr. I'm just hoping that one person catches it. You know, that's my goal in life. Our friend Natalie tweeted. There's another one in here. It wasn't Natalie. She retweeted it for me though, so thanks, Natalie. Oh, it's an Amish baby machine. And it's actually a great thing. Thanks for reminding me. He said he doesn't like nerds. Didn't you see Weird Science? And if anybody's seen Weird Science, Robert Downey Jr. is the bully in that movie, and he beats up the nerds. So thanks.
I'm going to guess that the Amish baby machine is a lady.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Make me look.
I guess it could be like an Amish dude who's just making babies.
Well, I don't know if the Amish use Twitter, so
Yeah.
Well, I think it's supposed to be humorous. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It's a comedy pop culture podcast.
Oh, cool.
So thank you, Amish Baby Machine, for tweeting us. And hopefully Robert Downey Jr. has a publicist who's going to find it. I don't know. I'm going to do it every day.
We have no idea if this is going to work
Who has
at
a
all.
cousin who has
Yeah.
a best
I mean,
friend.
there's worse things, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all I do is copy and paste it every day.
Yeah.
What else am I
what
going
we
to do?
need to do is one of us needs to get cancer or leukemia, and then reach out as like
Yeah,
or-
Brad,
Make a
Brad,
wish
Brad, I think you just volunteered
Make a
yourself to
wish
get cancer or
foundation.
leukemia.
Make
Well,
a
I
Wish
can call
Foundation.
our friend Brandon. He works with cancer in Copenhagen. Maybe he can ship us some over.
Yeah,
and I'll just
send us
inject it into Brad.
Yeah.
Send us some cancer.
We'll each inject ourselves with cancer, see who takes it, and
I think we just wrote a pod show.
oh man,
That's a horrible episode.
Yeah. That'll be buried deep on the Blu-ray.
That'll be the one that never aired.
So the truth is, we also got a lot of love on Facebook this week because of
We
an
did.
awesome picture that Sir Bradley over there posted of a forthcoming Blu-ray version of all those pod shows we've been making,
yeah.
which looks so fucking badass. Oh my god!
It's going to be fun.
Yeah,
Can't wait to record the
Got a
commentary
lot of
for
extra
it.
features.
yeah. You promised a lot of special features on there. We have to make now.
No, most of them are already made.
Most of them are already made. Actually,
Yeah, I know.
I have an idea. I hope Brad's down with it tomorrow at the Horror Fest. I want to film our interview with Kirsten and
dude.
make it a special feature too.
Yeah, cool. I
And
mean,
then-
I say it's cool. You were asking for Brad's permission.
Oh,
but
Brad
I
already
don't
said he's
give
going
a
to do it. So
shit. Oh, good.
and if he doesn't, I don't give a shit. I'm going to steal his camera and start filming.
Yeah, I got a phone.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
Thanks, guys. And now it's stuff we've been watching.
So, yeah, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Great week for me. Great week. I watched Robin Hood, the Disney one.
Oh, okay.
I love that movie. It's really cute. The theme song gets stuck in my head, and for all you listening at home, I'm gonna get stuck in your head.
No.
All right. You know what's great about Blu-rays? Yeah, keep on going, Ben. You know it. You can go while I'm talking about the movie. Is it cleans up things so well. Even like movies where I thought were kind of harsh during when you watch them on video cassette, and now you watch them on Blu-ray. It's stunning how great they look. And to answer your question, James, they didn't actually use the same characters and shots. What they did to save money is in the dancing scene for Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, they just traced over it with the characters when they were dancing
Okay.
to cut production costs. I remember you saying
I
that.
knew I didn't know the story exactly, but I knew that there was there was a period of time where Disney was, because they were trying to turn out so many of those movies because they were just making bank, where they were doing stuff like that.
I've seen that clip. I thought it was the Jungle Book and Robin Hood.
No, it's I
Snow
looked
White.
it up on IMDb and stuff.
Whatever.
Well, you don't believe me? You look it up, motherfucker.
I don't believe him yet either. But no.
What's the only bummer about the Blu-ray is I went through the whole thing. They don't have like a making of it or anything,
Well,
and they don't have. I mean, the bummer is because these second tier Disney movies that I put in quotes, is sometimes they don't treat them like they did. I mean, I got The Little Mermaid this week too that I haven't watched.
yeah.
And I mean, they don't treat them with like the prestige of that. I understand why, but
Yeah.
I think I want to say Robin Hood is a pretty well loved Disney movie though.
Oh, for sure. Every kid my age watched it about twice a year in school because it was the only VHS that we had. And when the teacher didn't want to teach, they put in Robin Hood.
But the scene where the kids go into Maid Marian's court where they're playing badminton is really cute.
Yeah, that
Where-
movie's good.
She says, I'm going to kiss you now. He's like, I'm not into that sissy stuff. And it's just really cute. So you should pick it up on Blu-ray. It looks really good. I love watching those movies, stuff like The Rescuers and stuff that I haven't seen forever.
Oh, man.
When you watch them on Blu-ray, the lines are all cleared up, and Disney always does a really good job on cleaning up their pictures for Blu-ray.
Cool.
And a complete 180 of that, I continued watching Friday the 13th on Blu-ray. I rewatched Part 4. I actually went back and watched Part 2, and I started from Part 2, and I watched all the way to Part 8.
Shit.
Yeah, Part 2 looks really good on Blu-ray, like really good. Part 3 does not. I don't know if it's because it was shot in 3D.
When does Part 3? When did Part 3 come out?
83.
In the like early to mid 80s, they weren't using very good film. And so when they go back, and it was one of those things that came out back when they started doing Blu-rays, that converting movies from that period, people really kind of didn't care about because they were actually just shot so poorly that you were never really going to be able to draw a great image out of that film.
And what was crazy about watching it on Blu-ray in Part 3 is it had lots of dust on the lens because there's two lenses, and so you could see lots of imperfections on it. Some parts looked really good. The night stuff looked amazing. But yeah, Part 3, there's lots of color wash on it, and it was really grainy. Part 4 looks really good. Part 5 is a horrible Friday the 13th movie anyways, and so even when you up-convert it, it still doesn't look that good because the director is incompetent. And so is the DP. So
is that the one that's directed by the porn guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Because it's basically like the most boring shot you can... Brad, you've seen it. It's like the most boring shot you can have of suspense and like stalking and killing, and it's just horrible. I've always said this about that movie. It's gratuitous even for a Friday the 13th movie, and there are some people that defend that movie, and I don't understand why. It has a really high body count, but the special effects aren't that impressive. The most impressive thing is there's a chick with really huge boobs that gets naked, but they tried to do like a mystery like the first Friday the 13th, and it just falls flat. And the Jason in it looks like Brad. No offense, Brad, but you're
What the fuck?
No one's really scared of Brad.
No, like if Brad was Jason, he's a skinny, like he's a tall guy, but he's skinny.
Yeah.
And that's what Jason looked like. And to me, when I picture Jason, he's like a big kind of muscular guy. And so the Jason looked off in that, and I don't know. He was taken out by some chick with a chainsaw who could barely move the chainsaw. It's lame. But the upside of that, my favorite Friday the 13th is Part 6. And this movie is stunning on Blu-ray because it's made by a really good director. Their DP's gone on to make other movies that are pretty spectacular, and the editor of it is one of Spielberg's personal assistant editors.
Oh, wow.
So it's crazy because Part 5 is so poorly shot that I think that actually made Part 6 stand out even more with the lighting and the performances and how they handled stuff, because it's actually kind of a comedy, too.
And it has Bernie in it.
Yeah. That's Part 7.
Oh, shit.
But it has who's the dude from Welcome Back, Kotter? His friend?
Horshack?
Yeah, Horshack. He gets his heart punched out in it. It's great, though, because they do stuff like he comes down, Jason's dead.
Ron Paolillo, sorry.
And the director is a huge Gothic horror fan. So they said, you got to bring back Jason. I don't care how you bring him back. So he went the Frankenstein route, where the guy Tommy Jarvis jams like a steel pole through Jason over and over again, or wrought iron, and it gets struck by lightning, and it brings him back to life. And,
sure.
And before that happens, like his friend's like, my heart can't take much more of this, and then like 2 minutes later, he gets his heart punched out. It's a really cool movie. If you like Friday the 13th, it's my favorite one.
Neat.
Part 7, again, it's a really cool Jason. It looks really good. The directing in it's horrible. When you have a character that stalks people, and the point of view is always him, but then he comes into frame before he kills someone, there's like no suspense at all in the movie. It's just like, oh, this is how we can make people get killed really easily. And then Jason would randomly show up with like farming implements, like a buzzsaw and pitchfork. I don't even remember. But I don't know where he's getting these weapons from, but he kept on just showing up randomly with them. And Part 8 gets a lot of flack because it's Jason Takes Manhattan, where he's really just on a cruise ship for like 2/3 of the movie.
What?
Yeah.
Shouldn't he be in Manhattan?
Yeah, they didn't have enough money.
Eventually.
We've had this conversation before.
But rewatching it, there's actually some really cool supernatural. If you if you watch it as it's not really Jason, it's a supernatural entity. It's actually pretty suspenseful. And there's this one shot that I actually absolutely love in this movie. This girl is taking a shower, obviously, and she gets out and she hears something in her room and she creaks the door open a little bit, and it's like Jason looking around. And I love those moments where you see Jason not stalking and killing,
Like where a character gets the drop on Jason.
exactly.
Almost. Yeah.
And she's scared and she closes the door really quietly, but it's just a cool shot because he's not doing anything. He's just looking around. He has some great kills in it. I love he kills Kelly Hugh, who went on to do lots of things where he strangles her and throws her against the floor. Is really cool. And he punches some dude's head off with one punch. But yeah, I mean, it's better. It's better than I think people give it credit for. It's not like the best one, but it's interesting. So yeah, I'm still not really excited to watch Jason Goes to Hell. It's my second least favorite one. Yep. And I watched Tamara. Tamara is a movie written by Jeffrey Reddick, who's been on the show. You can listen to his interview on realnerdspodcast.com, or you can go to iTunes and download it. Just search for Jeffrey Reddick. And I wanted to watch it before I interviewed him again because I remember last year at the Horror Fest, he said that the studio really neutered his movie. And the movie is about this girl who studies witchcraft, who's kind of like the nerd of the class, and she has a crush on her English teacher, and her English teacher says, "Oh, you know, you're so talented," because she wrote an article about students using steroids to be better athletes, and so all the jocks hate her, and so they go to play a prank on her, and she ends up dying during this prank, but then she comes back to life as like a vengeful witch bitch spirit, and she starts killing them. So it's pretty cool. The acting in it's not very good. And I do want to talk to Jeffrey because you can see where they're kind of pulling punches in it, and they weren't making it like that extreme. So it's on Amazon Prime if you want to watch it. It's good. Some of the parts are really cool, and it has a 15-minute tracking shot where Tamara goes to this party, and the camera follows her to this one guy, and it follows her to another guy, and then the camera follows the guy walking, bringing beers to another girl, then it comes back to them dancing. It's a really cool shot. I'd like to see if they had more money, and I'd like to see what Mr. Reddick says about his original vision for the movie, which I'll get into tomorrow. And, sorry, that's what I watched this week.
I'm so excited to talk to him again.
Yeah, he's a cool
so
guy.
cool.
He
Man.
hugged me today.
He hugged me twice.
I know. He's like, "Hey, man, how's it going?" Like the nicest, most unassuming guy in the world. Who knew he was such a horror guy? This doesn't seem like one.
Yeah, no, exactly. You meet him and you're just like, oh, this guy's so, laid back and normal.
Yeah,
And
normal.
then he writes movies that are just like, hey, let me watch some people just get destroyed horribly.
Yeah, and so it'll be really interesting to talk to him again. He's
Yeah.
always been really nice. We've run into him a couple other conventions.
Yeah, he's at Starfest.
Yeah, he's at Starfest. Nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
We like him. Ben, did you watch anything interesting this week?
The last thing I watched before tonight was The Family.
Oh, none of us have seen The Family. Tell us about The Family.
The Family, it's good.
Really?
Yeah. I went into, you see the trailer and you think, oh, this is going to be a comedy, which is kind of what I was hoping for. And
Mm-hmm.
I thought that'd be an interesting take on the genre with De Niro and Pfeiffer and what's her face from Glee.
Sure.
I thought it would be a pretty interesting, just comedy, taking the situations to its ultimate comedic, that end of the spectrum. But it was actually a lot more of a darker comedy than it is portrayed in those trailers. It's not as clever as a lot of dark comedies are. I think it's just kind of lowest common denominator, very basic humor. Cliche, but I think it was fun. It was good watching Robert Downey Jr. or not Robert Downey Jr.
He's always
De
fun to
Niro.
watch.
Thank you, De Niro. Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun movie. It wasn't what I expected.
So do you think they purposely made the trailer that way so people would go see
Yes,
it?
I think so.
Misleading.
They did the same thing with Don John, honestly.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Don John is not.
That's interesting because I saw that trailer and it looked so bland to me I didn't want to see the movie.
Yeah.
Um,
Where if it really were sold as a black comedy, I think I would probably want to see it more.
yeah.
I don't know if there was enough moments though for a trailer.
Oh.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
You
yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
I think they had to pull this is going to be a comedy with the cute blonde American chick beating up the bullies, and I think they had to play that card to get people to come.
Gotcha.
Wasn't what I expected. It was still good.
Cool.
I'm glad I saw it. Maybe rent it.
Sweet. Hopefully it'll be streaming before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Check it
Probably
out.
not.
Probably
Man,
not.
We're getting
yeah.
close.
It's really close.
Man, we need some movies to come out.
Is that it?
I recently saw World's End, but that was maybe a couple weeks ago.
Did you like it?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
Second favorite, I would say.
Of the year?
No, of
the
Cornetto trilogy.
I know they're releasing an ultimate edition of that.
I think,
and I don't own the Blu-rays. All right.
yeah, close. Hot Fuzz is actually my favorite,
Wow.
Oh, cool.
and then I would say Shaun of the Dead and World's End are a tie, like a virtual lock.
Yeah.
And I saw one other thing recently. Oh, because Into Darkness came out, so I got that and watched that.
How do you feel about Into Darkness?
Oh, I love it.
Are you a Star Trek fan?
Oh, I love it.
Or, like,
I am
were you
I'm a
you were
Trekkie originally.
Okay.
Like my favorite is actually Enterprise.
What?
Yeah,
We can't talk.
John Archer is like the shit.
No, you and I can't be friends anymore. I'm not okay with that. Really? Explain to me why you like John Archer so much.
Because he's like the ultimate explorer of that franchise.
Yeah.
Like it was at that point no knowledge,
Yeah.
and he was the one. I mean, yeah, you could argue that he was just the right time at the right place at the right time, but it still, don't get me wrong, Picard is like
Yeah.
the shit.
I can
Enterprise,
see what,
yeah, Enterprise is my favorite series.
I can see what you're saying. I guess the truth is, now that I look at it, I mean, it's been a long time since Enterprise was the thing that I was watching. But the truth is, my problems with that show were not the cast of that show.
Oh,
My
it
problems
was
were what they did,
totally
the stories that they were telling.
They were terrible
Yeah.
rerun stories,
Yeah.
retread stories.
yeah. Well, and their season long arcs were just
And they overplayed the sexuality of T'Pol.
oh god,
It
she's
was
the
just
worst.
so blatant and over the.
Oh,
it was just
Sounds like the kind of Star Trek I can get on board with.
There was literally like
No
in
purpose
order to
to it.
get
It
rid of
was-
some
there was-
stress, like she gets naked and rubs a dude's shoulders.
Wait,
And
she's
that,
naked
like,
on
regularly.
a syndicated show?
There's like side boob, yeah.
Sweet. I'm seeing Enterprise.
It's
tonight.
not good. It's really dumb. Yeah. Wow.
so couple that my love of Star Trek to begin with, and the fact
Yeah.
that it's J.J. Abrams who
Yeah.
can do no wrong in my eyes.
So spoilers for Into Darkness, because I have to ask this question. You were totally okay with Khan all the way through?
Yeah.
Like, did it ever bother you?
No, not once.
Wow. Cool.
Cumberbatch, whatever,
Yeah.
is
He's good.
pro.
I think I talked about it last week that I just recently rewatched it. I don't own it. I still don't own it. I'm not gonna break that rule, but
There's a rule.
yeah, the Blu-ray.
don't get
Oh,
him
sorry, you
started.
bought it.
This again.
Is it like
4 weeks in a
sequels
row.
you don't buy because you know there'll be a combo? Pack
No.
or something
It's
like
only
that?
for this movie. Paramount took the special features for the
Oh,
Blu-ray
yeah,
and
yeah,
passed
yeah.
them out. So yeah.
Yeah,
See,
boycotted.
he's dismissive, so we can
I-
move on.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I understand your point of view though.
Yeah, but I rewatched it, and the only thing that I was holding out on was that scene when Spock yells Khan. I was just like, oh, this is corny as shit. First 2 times I saw it, that's how I felt, and then this time I rewatched it, and I was like, no, it's pretty badass.
It's-
because it's a
yeah.
moment when Spock breaks. Like, and I don't necessarily like the way they do it because they are calling back to that thing. But when I break it off from all that canon and all of my ideas about Star Trek, like
It fits.
this badass moment
fits.
where Spock is just pissed. It's cool. It's really
It fits.
cool. And on one of the special features of that Blu-ray that I watched when I borrowed it, there was this really great line where JJ says, you know, if something is good, that pretty much trumps everything.
Yeah.
And I realized like that's okay. Yeah, because he was explaining why they did Khan again, and I was like, yeah, you had a really good story, and you know, it really doesn't matter that it is playing with this canon and that you're retreading ground. Like it was really cool.
Well, they had to, and I would say the only thing that I had a problem with was, and it's not that they just kind of glossed over the whole cure-all potion of blood that apparently
We fixed death. Don't worry about death anymore.
death is now solved. But my only problem was turning the Final Frontier speech
into
the
yeah.
That was so dumb.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't.
Like you're like, what are you
It's so
talking
specific.
about? Why is
Excuse
the
me,
captain's code a 5-year mission? What the fuck does that
it
mean?
It was so
yeah.
random, and it didn't fit.
Yeah.
And it took me out of the story. And I know it's at the very end, but it like took me out
Yeah.
for just that long.
Yeah. Because the first one, when they do it at the end of the first one, it's so cool.
Oh yeah.
When Leonard Nimoy comes
With
over the
Leonard
top, and
Nimoy.
you're like, "Fuck!"
Yeah.
Yeah, but that one, it's ham-fisted.
Yep.
Yeah.
My favorite part is when Alice Eve gets naked.
That's the most pointless part of the movie.
James
Even
is
when
so easy with this
Even
stuff.
when I rewatched it, I was just like, "What the fuck is this in here for?"
Because it's hot.
No, so it can be in the trailer.
Boob, boob,
It's
boob,
only
boob.
there so it can be in the trailer. Like it's
Boob,
so
boob,
blatant.
boob, boob.
Anyway,
Can't wait to watch Enterprise.
Thanks, Ben.
I've only seen
Thanks for
5 Star Treks.
Thanks for letting me rile
2,
myself up.
4,
and
6, and the new ones.
You gotta see number 3. Starts with Spock.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only one that could really compare to Wrath of Khan.
I think
Oh,
this guy
no.
needs to see First Contact more than anything because it's a zombie movie.
I think 6 is better than 3, for sure.
Final Frontier?
Undiscovered Country, the one where they're on the planet when they're on the
The Shakespeare one.
the Shakespeare one with the prison planet, the Klingon one.
Repente.
Oh yeah.
It's a murder mystery in
Yep.
space. Like
Yep.
it's so badass.
Yep.
Anyway,
I actually like Nemesis, to be honest with you.
we can't be friends, Ben. Oh my god.
I'm not saying it's top 3 or anything like that. I'm just saying I like Nemesis.
Oh,
It's a young Tom Hardy.
that part's
Yes,
cool.
it is.
James, what'd you watch?
I really didn't watch anything. Every time that like when I was coming home from work, every day I was just like, I just want to go home and rewatch more Hannibal. So I finished the first season of Hannibal again this week, and I first time I watched it, I was watching it with, I'd get distracted every now and then or whatever, but this time I was only paying attention to that show. I don't want to get hyperbolic, but this might be my new favorite show on television.
Are you pumped for the new
That's
season?
extremely hyperbolic.
Oh yeah.
I
Well, I mean, we're talking about like comparing that to Justified, and I might like this show more.
Can't believe I haven't even watched the Briscoe County Junior you took for me.
I've watched some of it, but I haven't gotten through enough of it. It's not an easy watch for me. Fun, but anyway. But yeah, that show is just fucking brilliant.
I've never actually really sat down and watched that, but from what I can understand from the promos for this upcoming season, Hannibal is like going to start being Hannibal.
Hannibal. Okay, I can't say too much, but Hannibal is very much Hannibal in this season.
Okay.
It's more that, and this is one of the things that's so cool, especially about the early part of the season, is that Hannibal is doing stuff, and they don't have to tell you. Hannibal is like this force, that is very much in the show, but as a evil cannibal, he's like in the distance, and you just know he's moving, and they don't even tell you he is. Like in one of the special features, Brian Fuller straight out says one of the things that Hannibal did, and it was weird to me to have someone say that. Like, because I was like, well, yeah, but in the show you never said it. You just showed us a scene with Hannibal, and then you skipped to this thing, and we just had to put it together, and it was so smart. Man, and David Slade's executive producing and directing some of the episodes. He is so cool, and they got this really inventive guy to do the music, and he uses, as a little bit of spoilers here, but as Will goes crazier throughout the season, he uses this thing. Do you remember Crocodile Dundee when he's standing up on the thing? He's that thing that you
That's
spin.
not a knife.
Apparently, it's like the oldest instrument in the world. Or one of the oldest instruments in the world. And if you get it on Blu-ray, you never could hear this on TV, but if you get it on Blu-ray, they did like a 7.1 mix of that where that sound spins around you in your home theater system to like give you this sense that when that sound happens, and there are very specific moments when they do it, to give you the sense that the whole world is spinning around Will. It is so cool.
The DVD cover art is not very good.
The DVD cover art, yeah, no. All the promotion for the show to begin with was not very good. The
Brad,
promotion
you could've done
for
something better than that, right?
even the
For those at home who can't see the DVD cover, it is Hannibal's face, but his eyes are cut off, and he's holding a napkin to his mouth like he just ate somebody.
Well, and the
end.
font for the title is not the actual font for the show. Like, and it's not very good. Like, they just squeeze the ends together. But
They look like knives, though.
great intro too. The intro is really chilling. Not the most creative visually, but the noise. Not
This
even
better
music.
be good, James. I'm going to be so pissed at you.
I don't fucking care. It's great.
560 minutes I have to watch this fucking show.
You don't have to. Just the first one. You'll be hooked. Anyway, that's all I watched this week.
Brad?
Oh gosh, I watched so many things. What do you want to talk about? I watched season 16 of South Park, Comic Book Man, season 2. I watched The Office, some of The Office season 9. I watched Mystery Science Theater 3000 episodes.
I watched.
I think the only thing worth talking about. What?
I'm just saying. I watched a bunch of stuff too, but
Yeah.
just I'll repeat
But I
stuff.
was going to say, probably the only thing I think worth talking about is the series finale of Breaking Bad.
Oh fuck! I forgot two things.
Walter White makes it, right? I'm just
So-
kidding. I watched the Colbert Report the next day.
Here's the thing. I don't know that there's really anything to talk about other than I don't know that it's worth talking about to spoil what happens. I think it was really solid. I think it was really solid. I think it was a good ending.
Yeah, it's actually left me all week just being like a withdrawal, you know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's so tragic.
See,
I just keep thinking like to Walter White's mindset of and I was actually surprised they kind of found a way to bring a little bit of humanity back to it. Ben, do you watch Breaking Bad?
I saw a couple episodes here and there, and I really enjoyed them. I just never got into it for
Never
some
got
reason. So I spoil away.
Sweet.
Like I said, you can spoil away. I watched the interview with Stephen Colbert and Gilligan, who's the showrunner.
Vince Gilligan.
Vince Gilligan.
Yeah.
Well, and again, I really don't think Eileen was talking on friend of the show, Eileen Augusta. She was talking on Facebook about how she didn't want to see spoilers, and I told her, I was like, here's the thing: the things that someone could say, like the one-liners that somebody could say to spoil the end of the show, are not enough to spoil the show. There are things that you probably would have guessed by seeing the first episode of the show that either this was or wasn't going to happen, so it's not that big of a surprise. But honestly, though, when it was all said and done, I look at that show and I think, yeah, this is brilliant television, and I want to watch it again. I want to own the Blu-rays, and I think it's an amazing story that they told. So cool, but I don't know that I take anything away from it.
Really?
At the end of the day, yeah. At the end of the day, I look back at that whole season, that whole series, and I think, man, it's a really great show, and I care about these characters, but I don't know that it's a story that I will carry with me and relate to and will become sort of an important story in my life the way that I really expect great television to.
No, I took away. It still haunts me, that ending.
See,
It's just
In the pantheon of great series finales, do you put that in there?
the things I've watched. Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Oh,
It's-
yeah.
And also just think about the whole series, like looking back, and obviously there's a whole year where I haven't paid attention to it. Like in 2011, I watched all the way up to as much as I could, and then we had almost a year off before 5, and then they split 5 into 2 years. So just as much as I can remember looking back, there was never really an episode that I would just throw away. Every episode was essential to that series.
Absolutely.
And it only takes place across what in its own timeline, a year and a half or 2 years.
Yeah.
I guess because he turns 2 year birthday twice.
Yeah.
But
And that's also partially because of the way they play with time at the end of the show.
yeah,
The bulk of the story is in about a year and a half.
but yeah, it's way up there for me. It was one of those shows where I was like, oh, it's about drug dealing, whatever. But it's not about that. It's about watching a good guy, all the little things that add up to make him just cross the line and become a terrible person. And then surprisingly, I was expecting it at the end for him just to be the worst human being, but they actually found a way to make me sympathize with him again.
Yeah.
Before the
Vindicate him
end.
a little bit.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, there's no way he's ever fully redeemed for all this shit he's done. But it's still at the same time, I was I felt really bad when he died. And I was
What? He died?
yeah. It's all over the place now. But the worst thing was him watching his son who doesn't wishes he was dead. And having to he knows he's going to go off and die, and he can't like do anything to redeem himself in his eyes of his son. He just has to kind of die with that on his conscience, and then the very end, just realizing like the only thing he truly like them showing like his one true love is the meth, because he was good at it, and
well,
it made him feel alive. Like, oh, that was just like heartbreaking.
One of the things I was going for also is that maybe my favorite shot of the finale is the shot. Well, it's the same shot twice, but it's the same shot for when he sees his daughter, when he's like standing over the crib and he reaches down and sort of pets her, and then they do the same shot again when he's standing next to the big vat and he pets the big vat. So I think it's a little unfair to say that like the only thing that he loved was meth. Like there is still this part of him that thinks that he was doing it for his family, even though he straight up says, "I didn't do it for my family."
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's a brilliant, well-crafted show. Definitely one of the best shows of all time. I'm just saying that when it's all done, I don't love it. Like in my soul.
I'm not trying to convince you otherwise. I'm just
no,
saying
I know.
that
It's
gonna haunt me for.
Yeah.
It still haunts me thinking about like what his mindset was like for that last episode.
Yeah.
It was really creative, like the way he got his money back to his family, though, by tricking the
that thing
gray
with
matter people.
The thing with the lasers was great.
Yeah,
it's great.
Great gag.
Yeah. And did you know that? Do you know why that couple is in the show again? There was this fan that was dying of cancer.
Oh,
that died before the end of the show was filmed.
And the kid was like,
got to talk to Vince Gilligan and the cast, and he had said like, "Hey, you should bring that couple back before the end of the show. Like they should be involved in the end." And they weren't gonna be, but they wrote it in, and I'm so glad they did because it's one of the best aspects of the ending. It's interesting now looking at it. Vince Gilligan went straight out and did the opposite of what the Lost writers did, which is that he did a victory lap and went on all the shows and talked to people about the show and has told us things about writing the finale and alternate endings and things like that I guess I wish I didn't know, that really make it clear how much at the beginning of this season they really didn't know where they were going. The other really obnoxious thing, though, and how much I fucking hate the internet is, so this show ends, and it ends, spoilers, with the exact same shot from the end of Lost, which means that everybody on the internet went onto Twitter and sent horrible, nasty shit to Damon Lindelof about how bad Lost was. I fucking kid you not. Like, people will not let it go. That they see something that they really like and they have to go. They can't. They didn't go onto Twitter and then talk about how much they loved the Vince Gilligan show to Vince Gilligan. They went onto Twitter and talked shit to Damon Lindelof about how much they hate him. I'm like, what the fuck is?
It's the internet, James. I mean, it's just a breeding ground for trolls.
I know. It's horrible. People suck.
I've got the key in my pocket.
It's a Patton Oswalt
That's
thing.
Patton Oswalt.
Was that everything,
troll.
Brad?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, unless you want to talk about Mystery Science Theater and South Park and all that. But I'm guessing you don't, yeah.
I did also, I'm not going to talk about this for very long, but I forgot that last week, Downton Abbey came back in the UK. So I watched the pilot or the first episode of that. And if you really like Downton Abbey, but you were frustrated by how many hats they left on the ground last season, you should stick with the show because they found the correct way to come back.
Oh, good.
Oh, are you a Downton Abbey fan?
Hell no.
Oh, fuck you.
But I was losing a lot of sleep over that hat thing.
No, the hats on the ground is a metaphor, Ben. It's a metaphor.
Hey, I got an English degree. That's why I like English television.
I'm with you
There
there,
is a
James.
Brit
It's
show
a good show.
that I'm
Yeah.
eagerly anticipating, though.
Which one?
2014 Sherlock Season 3.
Finally.
Yeah. And we'll get a whole 3 episodes, and 2 of them will be okay, and 1 of them will be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Out of 6 episodes, 2 real good ones. But I love that show. I do.
Can't go wrong with 2 really good and 1 great.
Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, Brad, put in some commercials here.
Done.
Thanks. My man spider sense is tingling.
Hey, look, it's Man Spider.
How's it going, true believers? When I'm swinging through Colorado and I need comic books, I head to Arvada, Colorado, to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics.
Oh, no, the teal troll is attacking me!
My son's in danger. Will no one help him?
Oh no, it's Man Spider.
Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics, the whips the competition with great deals on back issues, 50% off, hold slot, 20% off list price. You want sports memorabilia? They got that too.
Where are you going, Man Spider? The teal troll still has my son.
Here's web in your eye.
Oh no, I'm bested by Man Spider again.
So visit 6700 Wadsworth Boulevard in Arvada, Colorado, and tell them the Real Nerd sent you.
For barbecue that can't be beat, try Birdman Barbecue Sauce. Available and original and spicy. These robust, full-flavor sauces have the awesome power to kick your taste buds in their face. And for that smoking taste on everything you eat, try new Birdman Smokin' Rub. Caution! Meat left unrubbed may suffer from flavor performance anxiety. You can pick up Birdman Barbecue at local area Ace Hardware stores, Ruff's Barbecue in Golden, and the Danny Cash Hot Shop off Broadway. You can also like us on Facebook at Birdman BBQ.
Hey, guys. This is box office numbers. Pew, pew, pow, pow, pew, pew, pow. I don't know what that was.
This is the box office stats.
Do you know what came in at number 1 this week, Ryan?
You should tell me, James.
No, I really want to know, because I'm surprised by it, I guess.
Number 1 is Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2.
It is.
With 32 million?
34. I am amazed that you know this shit so well. It's ridiculous.
Steel Trap, baby. Steel
I
Trap.
know.
That makes sense.
Don John, which is what we saw at 8.6. At number 5. Which is understandable for that movie.
Yeah,
Like,
and that
how
movie
much
probably
did it
didn't cost
to-
that much to make.
Yeah,
and
right. The craziest thing to me, so Rush, number 3. The craziest thing, Prisoners at number 2. What? I'm really amazed that movie is holding on so well.
That movie's tough to watch.
I think I've seen some little things where people have said like, "Oh man, it took such a hit on the second week," but I'm amazed it's in second place. Like, that is not a movie that people are going to go. Well, we talked about it when we reviewed it. That's not a movie that people are going to go and tell their friends to go watch.
I'll get it on Blu-ray.
$6 million. Don John cost $6 million, so it already made its money back
Mm-hmm.
at 5th place. Wow.
Yeah, they probably weren't going to throw a lot of money at his directorial debut.
Oh no.
And it's kind of his
basically
own little
got his
thing,
friends
too.
together. Yeah.
I read an interesting article just now, this today in Entertainment Weekly about him and his Hit Record
Yeah.
website and how they got the movie of The Man with a Turn-Up Face into Sundance. And it's really fascinating how they did it. I don't know if you know how his thing works, is someone submits something, a writer, and this was a poem, and the poem was about a man with a turn-up face. Then they had Gary Oldman read the poem, and they had people submit what they think the man with the turn-up face looks like. Then after that, they had animators animate him, and then they had people who write music for it, and then that's how they made the movie.
Yeah, it's a really awesome website where
It is
like you can
interesting.
basically artists submit stuff and then other artists can just, without having to worry about rights or anything like that, they can just take whatever's on Hit Record and do whatever they feel like to it, so they can remix audio or do all kinds
Yeah,
of
then
cool
it's like
stuff.
voted on. That one was voted on by the Hit Record people, and they chose like the best one, and then they made the movie out of it. It's really interesting. I only went to the website today after I read about it.
Yeah,
It's pretty
He's been
interesting.
doing it for a while.
Yeah,
it's a neat place.
2006.
Yeah.
Yeah, guess it's Blu-ray DVD time.
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
This is a good week though.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm excited. You know how earlier I was talking about how some more movies need to come out on Blu-ray for me to watch? Well, this is one
Is
of
it
those
Mud
weeks.
too?
Fuck you. Much Ado About Nothing comes out this week. Joss
Sweet.
Whedon. Yeah.
Am I the only one who saw it?
absolutely.
Did you see that in theaters?
Yeah.
I can remember.
Yeah, it's really good.
It
If
is.
you like Shakespeare
It is awesome.
and Joss Whedon's friends.
And Clark Gregg.
And Clark Gregg.
Probably watch Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's really good in that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
The cover art blows.
Huh?
What?
The cover art blows.
For Much Ado?
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
No, the guy with the snorkel and then the thin
Oh.
line font is much better.
Yeah, but having seen the movie, that shot is not important. Like, it's a cool shot, but it's just not interesting to the movie.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't
Two people
pertain to
facing
the
each
movie.
other in blue lighting isn't that interesting either.
I guess you're right. But at least it's the main characters. Like that character is anyway. Hangover Part 3 comes out this week, which
Nice.
I forgot was even this year.
You didn't like it?
You didn't like it, Ben?
No.
How did you like any of the other ones?
Oh yeah.
Obviously,
the first
it's
one.
the same movie.
Well, the second one is the same movie. The problem, I think, with the third one was if it wasn't called Hangover Part 3 and it wasn't those specific characters, I think I would have really liked that story. But it was just like when I went to see Hangover Part 3, I expected a Hangover movie. And I didn't get it. It was too serious. The tonal shift was just too much for me, I think.
Gotcha.
So I think if they took that different story but kept the comedy aspect of it, I would have loved it.
Interesting. One of the movies I'm really looking forward to renting is After Earth. Comes out this week.
gosh.
I kid you not.
Oh, that's right. I saw a commercial for it during football today.
The Purge was that little horror movie. Did you ever see that?
No, I meant to, but
people talked about it.
Maybe it came out when we were seeing lots of other movies.
Yeah, and it was really it's indie, so it sort of came and went pretty quick.
Still made $60 million.
Yeah,
It had a huge weekend.
yeah. But I think there were other horror movies around it, so I just feel like its actual time in theaters seemed short. I could be
Probably
wrong. But
no. I think it made like $40 million. It's $34 million its first week, and then it was like $10 million its next week, and then it kind of went away.
There's a little indie movie called Europa Report, which is like a space movie. That the
Yeah.
trailers look really cool. I'm
I,
glad it's hitting Blu-ray so quick because I want to check it out.
I liked Magnet releasing on Facebook, and they have a lot of little things for that movie. It looks interesting.
Yeah. There's a little indie movie called Lifeguard, starring Kristen Bell, that comes out this week.
I love her and her eyes.
No matter how crooked Brad says they are. They're not, but he thinks they are. American Horror Story Asylum comes out this week. I didn't know it hadn't come out yet. They must just wait on that one a lot.
Yeah.
Of course, TV shows a lot of times they don't.
I love the ads for The Coven. I mean, I don't know if I want to watch it, but the ads are awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you ever get a chance to see Asylum?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. I thought you had it on your DVR.
It is on my DVR. I have so much shit I watch it. You know?
Oh no, I hear you.
It's on my
It's a good one, and I didn't even like the first season. Brad was really mad at me because he said that like 2 weeks ago I didn't talk about The Dark Knight Returns and how there was this deluxe edition that came out and all that. No, it comes out this week, and we are talking about it. So
on Amazon,
It's significant
it does.
because there's no break in the movie. It's both parts all together.
No, I understand talking about it, but it's on Digital Bits this week. So I didn't miss it 2 weeks ago. It's for this week.
Well, it was in stores already, which means Best Buy got an exclusive early release. So
Oh, okay. All right.
he was sitting there
See,
teasing
I'm
me.
totally okay with that kind of a retailer
I
incentive.
think Best Buy has some deal with Warner Brothers because all their steelbooks are Warner Brothers too.
Yeah, they have a Nightmare on Elm Street steelbook now and a 7 steelbook.
But that is pretty cool. So if you didn't get a chance, if unlike Brad and I, you didn't already own that, you should pick that up.
I was so close. I just bought the 2 parts 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah.
I was holding out. I was like, and then
I'm
finally
glad
I
I held out. I'm going to go down to Best Buy tomorrow and pick it up.
Son of a bitch.
They're re-releasing Star Wars the first 3, the trilogy on Blu-ray, with way better cover art. I think it's just Yoda on the front, but whatever.
Yeah, and they come with DVDs this time.
Oh yeah. But still not at the good release of original cuts yet.
You know what I was
They get
thinking?
there.
We need to have a Star Wars unaltered trilogy Laserdisc party for real nerds.
Ooh. Does anyone own a Laserdisc player? Do you really?
This guy.
Do you have the original Laserdisc?
Yeah, widescreen too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Where Han actually shoots first?
Yep.
Oh yeah. I've
I
got the
wanna watch it.
VHS still.
I had a teacher in high school who owned them.
Yeah.
That's
Do
awesome.
you show them in class?
He did once.
It's-
No, not
the
in class.
Teacher's brilliant. Oh.
Not in class. It was. I was a founding member of this Star Wars club at
Nice.
Pine Creek,
Yeah,
Pine
you
Creek High
were.
School,
You and both the other guys.
Sweet, a Star Wars club.
and we watched. We watched the Laserdiscs.
That is so
Awesome.
cool. Man, I want to see the Laserdisc. That's
Yeah,
cool.
I say we should bust them out.
You have a player.
Eventually,
Wow.
eventually there will be a Blu-ray release of that. Eventually they did a DVD release. Like it'll happen.
Yeah,
George
I
Lucas
have the
burned
DVD.
it.
No, he didn't.
I have
Kathleen,
murdered
Kathleen,
this.
I think it's hilarious that basically anytime George Lucas shows up now, Kathleen Kennedy is like walking him around, like leading him by the hand, like don't say anything stupid.
Don't piss off the mouse.
And if I say no, that means no.
I have the DVD versions, but apparently they're not anamorphic, so they stretch to whatever screen you have. So I'm like,
That's the one little
I'm so
thing
glad
that
I have
George
the
Lucas left
Laserdiscs.
in, like just to fuck with people.
yeah,
He's like,
I'm not gonna.
no, I'll give
clean-
them what they want, but they better have the newest fucking TV.
And he didn't clean it up either. Like, there's all these scratch marks in it too. It's
Oh, yeah.
like,
No,
Oh,
it looks
no.
great. It looks great on Blu-ray.
Fuck you. Your shitty versions. There's a DVD release of this movie Centennial, or not a movie, it's an old.
The fuck are you talking about, James?
I know. It's a Richard Chamberlain miniseries from long ago.
That sounds great. Snore next.
that my mom really loves.
Okay, since it's your mom, I'll let it slide.
Yeah, and then also they're releasing a whole lot of Inspector Gadget this week
Nice.
on DVD, which is really cool.
Cartoon, nice.
Yeah, they are splitting it up. They're splitting it up in multiple volumes for each season. So I have a feeling it's crazy expensive, but still pretty cool. So if you are like me and you really love that cartoon, now's your chance. Or if you're just a fan of Get Smart,
I love Get Smart.
check out those blue.
Well, is there an episode in Inspector Gadget where he confronts the Chinese guys and it's really racist? Because that's in Get Smart and it's awesome.
Probably.
Where they have a picture of George Washington in painting and he has he's an Asian George Washington and that's their secret hideout. It's awesome. You guys should really watch Get Smart.
I used to.
I got the
haven't
first
seen it in a
season
while.
for like $9. It's great.
Cool.
30 episodes.
That was Mel Brooks, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. We're done.
Very cool. Hey, let's start the in remembrance of.
It's real news.
So they're gonna make some new Friday the 13th movies, right?
I can't believe you actually pulled up that article that I posted. Yeah, actually, I think found footage of Friday the 13th would be badass. Actually, I want to pitch this idea. Do you think Warner Brothers or Paramount are listening to this?
All the time.
So this is my idea for it. So these cops get called to Crystal Lake, and there's guy filming, and then they find a cabin where Jason was living, and it's full of cell phones. And then they take it in, they pull all the information off the cell phone, so it's like little vignettes of what Jason's doing. And so you have to watch
So it's like an anthology of people filming themselves getting killed on the phone.
Yeah, I think it'd work.
Who collected all the cell phones and put them in the cabin?
Jason, he killed everybody.
Why does he care about their cell phones?
It's like
Well,
he's
He's looking for
Let
new
me take
ticks.
all
wait,
the
wait.
evidence of my crimes and put them in one
Obviously,
spot for the police to
obviously
find.
this Friday the 13th fan is not a Friday the 13th
It's
fan.
his trophy.
Because if you've watched Friday the 13th, you know he puts the bodies in places.
So the bodies are there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just have cell phones on them or something.
Yeah, to
Does he
trick
like-
the other kids into being more victims. What does he care about the cops?
I'm saying the cops go there after they get calls because their kids are missing.
Yeah, pay attention to
So,
the movie.
so there's still kids running around the camp when they come there?
No, what are you talking about, Brad? I'm talking about the cops show up because there's kids being
Pay attention
murdered.
to this fictional movie that we're
But Jason's motivation for
coming up
putting
with right
things
now.
in places is to kill more people.
No.
He doesn't know the cops
He
are
doesn't
gonna
even follow
come.
my simplest story.
Here's what I want to know.
He's killed a bunch of kids, and then their dead bodies are put in a cabin, and the cops storm. They find dead bodies, and they all have phones on them, and they take the phones with the
Oh,
footage.
I thought
of
you were
it.
saying there's just a cabin full of phones.
No,
it's like it's a storage unit.
no.
Here's what I want to know.
we store my
Since I-
Yeah.
incriminating evidence.
Cell phones I confiscated. Bloody axes I'll dump in here.
And if you watch 2009, he does have like a bunch of shit in his crypt. I don't know what you'd call it.
He's
Can,
like a
so
I
can we make it into a
homicidal
morality play
Wally.
where he goes through their phones and finds the pictures of them sexting each other? 'cause
Sure,
they're
whatever. You
teenagers
guys
and,
don't get what I'm trying to do, so fuck
sends
you
it to
guys.
the-
What's the next
No,
piece?
no,
of,
no, no,
What's the
I
next
was-
piece? What's the next piece of news? Yeah, we know Tom Clancy died. Boo fucking who?
Hey, Tom Clancy died? I didn't know that. Hold on, let me close the article about Tom Clancy died now that we talked about it. Yeah, Tom Clancy died. They're going to make more Narnia movies. That's crazy. I thought that was
Did
dead.
that go through?
Yeah, they're making the
Fox
Silver
has
Chair.
finally figured it out. Last I heard, there was some contract disputes and who owned the rights and whatnot.
Yeah, now they're moving forward.
Because
Because they decided that they want to make money off of Christian parents. So.
the last one did terrible.
They're
Yeah,
suckers.
the
Have you
last
seen
one-
The Passion of the
which
Christ?
is
It's
The last
horrible.
one's really bad.
The
so
first one that Disney didn't touch was
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, well, and they should have skipped that one. I read those books, and they keep skipping the interesting stories. and doing the ones that are, obvious
The next
fantasy
one's
movies.
the Silver
yeah.
Chair.
What?
The next one's the Silver Chair, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then they'll straight into the last battle.
Here, let me
It's
be
interesting that
watching
they're skipping the two that are kind of set outside. Like
Those are my favorite too.
they're the first two.
They're 1 and
chronologically.
they're 1 and 3. So yes, because
No, I think you're right. They are
no, the
1 and
horse.
3.
Yeah, the horse and his boy. Because Aslan's at the end of Horse and His Boy. So,
But they're set outside of the main timeline, or
And-
not timeline, but like storyline. 'Cause
Yeah.
the Pensifs and they're not in it. But
Yeah.
those are the two.
they're my favorite too.
Yeah, those are like actually really, really interesting.
Yeah, Magician's Nephew would make a really great, fun kids adventure movie. Of a kid in oldie England.
a magician's nephew.
Runs into like his magician's like this crazy scientist, and
But
he
it's
basically
also the-
gets sucked into these other worlds, and then
It's
they
like
have
the
this
birth
adventure.
of Narnia.
Yeah. You also see Narnia be born, and it's cool. And there's like this whole pool world that I was always fascinated.
Does
by.
it come out of some like vagina?
No, no, it's way more lame than that. They
Lion,
go
the Witch, and the
they go
Vagina.
like
The Lion, the Witch, and the Vagina.
oh gosh, I don't.
Continue listening as we ruin your childhood.
Yeah, right. No, there's this really cool like between world where there are all these pools, and you use and the way that you get from one world to the other is so creative. Like it.
I remember when I was in 6th grade, we were supposed to read, I don't remember, probably The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Oh yeah, that was
And I was like, oh, this book sucks. Wing!
yeah.
And then I read like Choose Your Own Adventure 32, where you're like in a hot air balloon or something.
Yeah. You were never very literate. So we got a trailer for Need for Speed this week.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I don't care about it either. And then very last thing,
Yeah,
besides
Aaron
the fact
Paul
that-
is horrible in Breaking Bad, too.
No, you dick. Very last thing, besides the fact that Tom Clancy died, David Tennant is going to play the main character in the TV remake of Broadchurch, which is a show from the UK where David Tennant plays the main character. Why remake the fucking show? Like, I haven't seen it I've heard really great things, but like, what's the point of making it in America if you're going to bring over the cast as well? Like, isn't that weird?
I mean,
That's weird, right?
other than bringing over the cast. I mean, like the first 5 episodes of the U.S. The Office is like verbatim.
Right. Yeah, but at least the cast is different. Like it, and it allows them to play with it and do different stuff.
Well, it's because
eventually,
people
but-
like you who like that crappy British TV
Oh, come
are
on.
like, oh, I'm not watching this. David Tennant's in it.
you racist.
David, but I
No,
think
no, no.
David Tennant's also a name. People want to see David Tennant.
Yeah. Well, but I again, so I don't know why they don't just release the show over here. Like
Because British TV's boring.
no British TV
Quality.
No, some British TV is really good, and
It's so
some is
easy to
not.
get James
I
wound
know.
up.
No, I know you don't mean what you're saying. It's just that there are some people out there who do think the way you're thinking, and there are a lot of people out there who think the opposite of what you're thinking, which is that all British TV is brilliant,
Spaced
and
is
the
awesome.
best thing ever. Yeah.
But yeah, that is a bummer Tom Clancy died. I love the book Hunt for Red October.
Oh, we're gonna talk about this.
And one of my earliest memories of going to the movies with my father was to see The Hunt for Red October. Was that 1989?
That sounds
yeah,
right.
right around
Yeah.
there.
And I remember because I couldn't read because at the beginning it has that scrolling thing where it's like do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, and I couldn't read it that far, and my dad was like reading it to me in the theater. I just remember that moment.
That's funny.
And then
Yeah.
Sean Connery and Alec Baldwin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We also got. Speaking of Alec Baldwin, we also got a Jack Ryan trailer.
I know,
this
it
week.
like came out the same day. They're like, "Oh, he died. Let's put this out
No,
so people
that-
watch
that's-
it."
What a
seemed weird,
bummer
right?
of a trailer too.
And now the poster says like from Tom Clancy. It's gross. It's a little gross. Like, and I don't think they mean to. I really don't.
No, I probably not.
Because
I really like Chris Pine though.
They didn't design the poster that day. Though it might kind of look like it. They could throw text onto a poster real quick, but it was a little bizarre.
Is it bizarre that I think Chris Pine has like a really sexy voice?
Yeah.
No,
I think
No,
he has
it's-
like a sexy voice.
No, he's good.
he is a beautiful, beautiful man.
He is.
Yeah.
He has a great Kirk.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I really want to go to Best Buy and pick up the cast and crew commentary for Star Trek Into Darkness just so I can hear his voice.
Mhm.
And then I'll go to Target and pick up the other ones so I can hit J.J. Abrams' commentary. And then maybe order from Amazon because they'll probably have like technical commentary on it.
Yeah, and then you just call up Paramount and be like, "Hey, could you just send every one of your executives down to my house so they can shit in my mouth?"
Yeah,
Like,
that'd be great.
That'd be great. Oh,
It's
man.
rich shit, so it's probably like full of.
Just gold
Gold.
flakes. They're eating those meals that they got gold in them. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, that's news.
Cool.
No, it's not.
Whoa, what I
Can't
missed?
believe you missed this.
What?
24
Oh yeah, I
coming
don't give a
back,
shit.
and it's set in London.
Hell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So James will really like it.
And and Audrey's coming back.
That's awesome. It would be sweet if he like busted on the set of Downton Abbey and he's like, "This is how you kill fuckers." Boom, boom.
I love your
boom.
tagline for this season.
Oh yeah, thanks. My tagline I text to Brad when he texted me that I said, "The Brits haven't had this much trouble with an American since the Revolution."
So, did they say anything about what the like how the movie's going to play with time? What it's going to do with the
Oh,
time
yeah,
issue?
it's-
Oh, is it a movie?
No,
Or-
it's a
it
season, but it's only
12?
12 episodes of the
Oh.
24. So,
So it's
it'll
12
be-
hours.
Yeah, it'll be like 7 to 8, and then if like 8 to 9 aren't that interesting, or he has to go someplace that takes a while, like episode 2 might just start at 9 to 10.
Well, I also
so they
read
might
too they're
jump.
going to make it really interesting. Like if it ends, it's 8 to 9, and then it picks up, 11 to 12.
Like what I just said.
Yeah, but no, but then something's going to happen, like in between that time. It might not be. You said it might not be interesting, but something interesting could happen.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
you're like picking it up, and you have to kind of see what's happening with Jack and stuff.
Oh, I see. Cool.
See if he would. If you guys would just listen to me, Brad's like, "Hey, you just like what I say." And I said, "No, I'll take it a different way."
So what you're saying is they could skip over all the parts with Kim Bauer.
Yes,
Cool. I am in. I've got to catch
she's
up.
not bad in season 8.
Yeah.
She goes away really fast.
Did she die?
No, I wish.
Oh man. What's crazy to me is the world she lives in is the worst. Like, yes, Jack Bauer is out there trying to track down nukes and all that stuff, but everywhere Kim Bauer goes, there's some dude that wants to kill her or rape her, or there's a mountain lion, or
Wants to
like
rape her.
yeah. Well,
She
when
wants to be raped?
because she runs away in season 2, she runs away from the like cops, and then she ends up in that one dude's rape basement, and then she runs away from him,
Kevin Dillon.
and gets in this car. And that guy like totally wants to rape her.
He's like,
So
"I'm
she-
gonna
he doesn't
rape her."
He doesn't get in the car. She didn't get in the car with him because she's got a gun. And then this lady comes along, and because it's the lady, she's
And the lady
okay.
rapes her.
Yes. Well, actually,
She's
that's
a
where I
scissor
am.
raper.
The lady might rape her, but I don't know yet. Don't make fun of lady
She's
rape.
pretty good in season 7 too, and
Yeah,
like, she's
no,
getting
she's-
chased by those assassins, and then
Yeah.
she makes that guy roll his car, and then she
Yeah.
sets her arm on fire.
Yeah, she's pretty good. In the 24 game for PlayStation 2, have you ever played it? The worst level is with her. She can't shoot or anything. You have to like sneak around these terrorists.
That's so sexist.
Sucks.
Man.
But
Remember
the game's pretty cool. Like the last thing you have to do in the game is your girlfriend's kidnapped. I forget which one. It's in between season 2 and 3, and there's a gun to her head. So you have to like move your gun to the bad guy's head and shoot him in the head before he puts her back, like in front of him, or you'll shoot and kill your girlfriend. In the real world, though, if I shot her in the head, it'd shoot him in the head too. So I guess I still won. But it's a game over. And of course, on a game over in the 24 game, it just goes damn. But
Are you serious?
no, I wish it did. That'd be awesome.
That'd be great. One of my favorite ones is in Mario Galaxy when you die, it just comes up and goes, "Too bad." It's great. Remember, it's too bad that she's so bad though, because you remember how badass it is to play as Ellie in The Last of Us.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god, it's so cool. Oh
yeah.
my God.
Ellie's awesome.
Oh fuck. Anyway, let's move on.
Cool.
My favorite death screens is in, I think it's Metal Gear 3. Metal Gear Solid 3. Snake! Snake!
Snake.
That's right.
That's I think
remember
that's
that.
in all of them.
No. I don't
Snake.
think it's in 4.
Snake. It's in. I
Four-
know it's in the first one.
4, I think it's a really serious, like somber, like you.
And of course, in Metal Gear Solid 2, it's Raiden. Raiden. I'm just kidding.
Put some clothes on.
And then when you get to the end of Metal Gear Solid 2, you're like, what the fuck is this? Fuck this game. Then you play Metal Gear Solid 3, you're like, it's pretty awesome.
Metal Gear Solid 4, when you die, it should just be that little girl's voice going, "No eggs for you."
Dude, Metal Gear Solid 4, I swear you watch it for like 3 hours, and then you like
But it was-
walk
you-
one way, and then it's like another 20 minutes.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
It is
Oh,
awesome.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. Oh man, It was actually like I kind of wanted to have somebody else to play the game when I actually had to play it, so I could like go do laundry or whatever, and then come back when they were doing cutscenes because I really didn't give a shit about the playable parts.
I remember when me and Brad worked at GameStop and Zone of Enders came with the demo for Metal Gear Solid 2. We sold so many copies of Zone of Enders. It was unbelievable just for that fucking demo.
That's what they did with Crackdown and Halo 2 or the Halo 3.
I really, I was going to watch Death Wish 4. Now, I've never seen a Death Wish.
Really?
But Death Wish 4 is called The Crackdown, and he goes to kill crack dealers. So I'm like, I kind of want to watch this. But I watched Tamara instead.
I didn't realize that. That's awesome.
Yeah. And it's
man.
called The Crackdown. That's awesome. Hey, it's comic book time. I have a comic book this week, unless anybody else has a comic book.
What's up, nerds? It's the Comics Corner.
I read Forever Evil #2 today, actually.
Tell me about Forever Evil.
It's a new DC mainstream. Sorry. God, I'm terrible with this microphone.
It's all right.
Forever Evil is a miniseries that they're doing right now. They brought back the crime syndicate from Earth 3. It's their first appearance in the new 52.
I can never keep DC's fucking things together.
Just don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm a DC nerd. I never really got into Marvel or any of the really good like independent comics. Like I really should get into those.
You got to read Lock and Key.
Yeah, I know. Like every time I talk to people about comics, it's always like, "Oh, you just read DC? Oh, okay."
I mean, I just read Marvel.
But
I just feel sorry
It's
for
okay,
you.
Ben. I almost only read DC too.
But I mean, I'm really into that, and yeah, Forever Evil is about the bad version of the Justice League.
Okay.
So like Ultraman, and did you ever watch JLA Crisis on Two Earths?
No.
That DC animated.
No.
All right, well, never mind.
I know. I just can't. I just can't help you. Yeah.
That's what
James
it's,
doesn't read superhero books.
it's about.
I know. I read some. I even picked up Infinity.
Did you?
I haven't read it yet, but I have it. So.
Are you interested in Thanos?
Yeah, I only bought it because the cover's cool with Thanos on the front. So. Yeah. Neat. Is it good so far?
Yeah.
Cool.
Jeff Johns is awesome.
Oh, now I'm in. Okay. Yeah, Jeff Johns.
He's a big architect for DC now. Like,
yeah, he's their creative director.
Yeah, he's a creative director.
He's also the guy you go to when you're doing superhero TV shows.
Was he involved with Arrow?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
What about Flash?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or was that just
And Heroes,
Mark?
Heroes was his. That's the big one. Is
Yeah,
that
Heroes.
he, not great, but still his.
Arrow? Man, it's so bad, but it's so good.
Really? I could never. I don't think I've ever watched a show on the CW.
The when I kind of want to see the show just because anytime I see concept art or like still images from the show of like the villains, I'm like, what the fuck are they doing?
It's
like the guy, he's like the sniper dude,
Yeah.
right? Who's got the
Deadshot.
Deadshot, yeah. It looks like a Power Rangers villain.
It's so bad, but it's so good. Did you ever watch Smallville?
Yeah, I watched like the first 2 seasons.
It's kind of. I mean, it's not as campy as Smallville. It's definitely the darker. Like it
Okay.
It definitely takes inspiration from Dark Knight trilogy, but it's in terms of tone. I mean, but
Yeah.
it's
But it just doesn't pull it
definitely
off,
like CW writing and CW like demographic. Stephen Amell with his shirt off for all those teen girls watching the CW.
Oh god.
But if you're a Green Arrow fan, if you're a superhero fan, it's totally it appeals to the nerd comic book nerd also.
Oh, that's so weird. Man, I always wanted them to do that Green Arrow story of him in like the movie that they always wanted to do of him in like a Supermax jail breaking out.
Green
Oh
Lantern
god,
Supermax.
I don't give a shit about Green Arrow, but I would watch that
Who
movie.
didn't Goyer write that? Like,
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
it Goyer?
Yeah. And that script is out there somewhere, just floating. No one cares. But
Maybe I do.
no, I mean in Hollywood, nobody who has money cares.
I'm not a big DC fan.
So how many issues are they in?
Which one? What are we talking
Of Forever Evil.
This was number 2.
Cool.
I think they're doing 7.
Cool. Is that DC's
Just-
like big event this year?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, they took over the books. They're all villain books this
that was
last
September.
month. Yeah.
Oh, so they're doing like that thing where the Avengers were all the Dark Avengers and like the Marvel did. You know.
It's bigger though.
Oh, is it?
It's like it's company wide, where the Dark Avengers was its own book.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool. I bet you can pick that up
You can
at Colorado Queens
Cards and Comics.
at Mile what?
I said it.
Colorado Queens Cards and Comics. Yeah, get a hold slot. Get 20% off. Get your trades there. Get 20% off. Get everything.
Yep.
Why not? Place is awesome. We should go there tomorrow. But we don't have time. Oh. Anyway.
Cool. This
Cool.
week we saw Gravity.
We did.
And this is a part, I don't know if you've ever listened to our podcast, Ben, but we say, should you go see this movie or not? And now everybody here will say like one or two words. James will talk for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Instead of, just saying if we should see the movie or not. Ben, should people go see Gravity?
If you go see it, and you should see it in 3D.
Wow.
Brad, should people go see Gravity?
I agree. See it in 3D. I'm surprised I'm saying that.
Yeah.
But be warned, it's more of an experience than a story.
Yep.
James? Okay, yeah, we got about 10 minutes. Go ahead.
Yes, you should see this movie. Yes, you should see it in 3D. And it is intense. So know that it is intense going in. Somebody we saw it with was like, it was too intense. But so just be warned. But great movie, man.
Yeah, it's all right. I really, seriously, I wasn't even it's impressive visually.
Yeah.
But the rest of it was meh.
Yeah.
Here's a trailer for Gravity. I mean, I think it's just Sandra Bullock yelling, but yeah, here's a trailer.
Beautiful, don't you think?
What?
The sunrise. Terrific.
I'm spinning! I can't breathe! What do I do? What do I do? Anybody, please copy.
So the story of Gravity, as if you've seen the trailers, is Sandra Bullock and George Clooney and some other dude are on a space station. And,
Oh yeah, that poor guy.
space shuttle, and we're doing repairs to Hubble telescope.
They're adding something else so that it can scan space or some bullshit.
Yep. But it opens with an amazing 20-minute single shot of, obviously not one, but I mean the camera's moving to different locations, and it's really
Tracking
well
all three
done.
characters.
Yeah.
One thing about this movie, though, I mean, visually, it's one of the
Beautiful.
most spectacular movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, and I mean, the whole movie is Sandra Bullock and George Clooney are the space shuttle's destroyed by space debris, and they're trying to get to the International Space Station.
Those damn Russians.
Damn Russians with
Just
missiles?
shooting shit out of the sky.
What?
Yeah.
It's pretty harrowing. There's some great moments in it. I haven't looked at the EPK, so there will be no scene this week, unless Brad, you want to throw one in. But
Do I do that now?
sure.
Steady. Aim. Fire.
Break! Break! You have to break!
Can's empty. You're gonna hit hard. Grab a hold of anything you can.
What do I do? What do I do?
wow, that was a great scene.
That was a cool scene where Sandra Bullock was
man.
panicking. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the movie is visually spectacular, but the rest of the movie, I'm just saying, I really wasn't like that excited in it. I really didn't think it was that intense. I don't know. And people keep on talking about how Sandra Bullock should be nominated and probably will win for Best Actress.
Disagree.
I don't think she did anything
Not even close.
Yeah, I don't think she did anything that was unique or. I mean, you guys can chime in. I mean, I'm obviously in the minority here, where I don't think you have to see this movie.
I think
the three of us agree that it's not. You don't see this movie because it's a great story, or it's not even really a film. I would say, or a movie in that sense. I think it's just
everything I think being like life in space would be like just when you think about NASA, you think it's all glorious and like advancing humanity and how great it would be, but like in reality it would be fucking terrifying every second of your like life, like minute up there, without like the space station is relatively safe, but like having to go out in the shuttle and like float out there with just a tether, like that, seeing that really up close is terrifying.
Well, except to be fair, like we've never actually lost an astronaut in space, and in this movie we lose a lot of them, and like they make space way more dangerous than it is. The truth is,
because the Russian shot.
But that's the thing. It's like it's
I don't know if they made
it
more dangerous than it is. I think they just took it to a
worst-case
logical
scenario.
Extreme.
Well, what I mean by that is, yes, there is a lot of just shit that we've left in space, but if you blew one up, it wouldn't create a spinning vortex of knock out all the technology on the planet, death. Also, partially because regular satellites are on a completely different plane as far as orbit is concerned than
James. This is a movie.
Those are. No, I'm just saying, like. When we talk about like what it's like to be an astronaut, this is not what it's like to be an astronaut. The opening shots are.
I mean, there are plenty of plot holes.
Yeah, the opening shots are what it's like to be an astronaut.
But I'm just saying, like that's the movie made me feel like I was on the edge of my seat, just being like really feeling what they were feeling. Like I felt like, oh my god, I would hate, like this is just nerve wracking being in this situation right now.
Yeah.
Like everyone, all the characters are really cool and calm for the most part, but I would just be like, I'm going to be floating out here for the rest of my life. This sucks.
Yeah. But to get back to what you were saying, I don't think you are totally in the minority in that I agree that like Sandra Bullock's character is actually kind of flat. Like I'm interested in her. Like I'm interested in what she's going through, but this is not going to be a movie. Like when it was over, my mom said like, "Oh, it's like Castaway in space," and I was like, "No," because Castaway makes me weep. This movie will never make me weep. Because I care about that character so much and what he goes through. Whereas in this one, it is more just visually what's happening is so crazy and so cool and so extreme that I'm just in it. Like you say, like you feel like you are stuck in space in a lot of ways, and it's more about my experience than it is about hers.
It's definitely voyeuristic. I don't think anyone's gonna take Sandra's spot. No one's going to put themselves.
Mm-hmm.
She's not our surrogate because that character's not interesting. No one cares about her because, she lost her daughter, but that just kind of felt like it was shoehorned in there.
Yeah, it's an attempt. It's a desperate attempt to try and make her
a story.
A really dramatic
but
character.
It was so much this is a survival movie. Here's the first thing that happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so she got over that. Here's the second thing that happens. Okay, so everything. I wasn't surprised by anything. I think it was just the experience, the very immersed experience of being put in there, watching them. I think that's what visually, like you guys are all saying, it's great. I don't think it's story. I think it's a painting.
I think the better story with her is the one that begins with her being somebody who can't even unbuckle herself from the thing at the beginning, so much so that George Clooney has to go get her from the end of that arm, to then being it's all in that subtle little moment where she's gonna she's trying to get to the Chinese ship, and she's gonna jettison herself out of this thing, and like that's that smart survival moment when she looks back and goes, "No, I gotta take the fire extinguisher with me." That's really smart. Like it's this one moment where she's actually thinking critically and making plans about how to survive in space for the first time in the whole movie, pretty much. Like that, everything she did up until then was what George Clooney told her to do. That was the first choice that she made where you were like, nah, she's being smart. That story to me is more interesting than her getting over the death of her daughter and all of that stuff.
But then they should have done that. Like they kind of just, it was, if the best thing that you can say about this movie is that they did the very bare minimum of character development, then that's not good enough, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I think the best character in the movie is actually George Clooney.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's on his last mission, and, you know,
he's a badass. He's, like, brave. And
and he has that cool...
quippy, he's very charming.
It's the thing about Clooney is, you know, I love his movies, and I love him as a director, because I think he's, like, the ultimate cool. You know, and I was actually... I thought the movie was okay, but I actually got pissed when I thought that he came back. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me that he's like literally like coming back in and he's back and it's like that's so stupid. But that actually turned out to be a great moment in the movie where, you know, she was hallucinating because she's taking oxygen out. But I mean,
it's funny because, you know, I've always said, like, one of the things I learned when I was learning to write was if you ever write a dream sequence, delete it. But this is one that actually kind of works, and just because of the circumstances of that scene.
I think that's what they wanted, though. I think he wanted people to be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, Clooney's back." Not that's not your reaction, obviously, but I think that he wanted that average moviegoer to be excited about Clooney being back and then losing him again. And I think that's just what. I think that's purposefully.
See, I knew it was fake to begin with because I was like,
"Nah,
man, that's not the reaction that's not exactly what would happen when she got back or when he got back in."
But you're like,
I know enough about space that
you're a well-versed moviegoer too. You understood that wasn't real.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think for the average moviegoer, I think that was put in there purposefully.
Yeah. Actually, the scariest thing about it for me was I was like, "Oh shit, is this a movie where halfway through she's dead and the rest of the movie is like a weird metaphor of like what she's dreaming it's like in her afterlife?" Like, oh god, don't do that.
I love that scene, and I love the scene too where George Clooney was telling her to let him go because he knew, like, because he's such a badass hero that he knew the only way he could save her is by, you know, killing himself.
But that's also that's another space film trope.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's a little heavy-handed.
I mean, that was in.
To me, still the cooler scenes are like when he goes to get her, and he first tethers himself to her, but then is like. Because the science of this movie is great, like really great. And when he's like, "I got to get you away from the thrusters," and he pushes her away from him, and then they bob back and forth in space like there's no control over them. That's what's great about this movie. Like those moments where you're just like, "Holy shit!" Like they have no control. Like when any of the many shots where they're flying around just close enough to something, but not quite close enough to touch it. Oh man!
And also, how weird is it, like, not having sound in space? Like when things explode, it's just like there's nothing behind what the characters talking. It's so bizarre.
It is. Whoever did the sound design on this.
It's great.
Fantastic.
Technically, the movie is really spectacular. I mean, technically, it's really good.
The one thing I would say on that side is that I kind of want to go back and listen to the score isolated, but I think in the film, especially early on, that score might be intrusive. I think that score is too much in scenes where there shouldn't be a score. Because I was noticing it and going like, this should be quieter. Why are you doing, man. Sorry, go ahead.
One of my favorite moments was actually at the end when she gets out of the water after swimming, and then she can barely get herself up. And I think that goes back to what you were talking about, that character moment of just being able to let go and finally accept that, whatever's happening, you can still survive.
Yeah.
Pretty much what Clooney was trying to push her into doing.
Yeah.
I just wish they would have gone. I wish that was the movie in terms of the story. I wish that was the story instead of
And that's where it gets its title from, guys.
I'm going to go so far as to say I actually think that might be the story, but that Sandra Bullock's really bad. Like, now that, as I look back at it more and more, especially looking at, like, the scenes where she's on the radio with the Chinese guys, and the scene when she's in descent in the pod, and she's having these sort of monologues with herself, when she's praying to George Clooney afterwards, in trying to get the Chinese one going, and she's like, when she's trying to get to the Chinese one. All those scenes are where I should learn to love that character, and I think that what's happening in them is probably the right kind of stuff, but that she's just not good enough.
I would alternatively respectfully disagree.
Okay.
I think what you're saying is that, or at least what I think what you're getting at is those beats are happening too late. They needed to be earlier in the film. I think the screenwriting is what's lacking in this film. I think those that moment where we find, because there was one of the quotes, or I don't remember the direct quote, obviously, was Clooney telling her, you got to learn to let go, you got to let me go.
Yeah.
That should have happened sooner in the film. I think that's the structural design of the story itself was, I think,
That
off.
we just spend too much time with Clooney? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't think less time with Clooney is the answer.
Or more time with Sandra Bullock?
I need more time with Clooney. I'd be more interested when he was like floating away and talking to himself. You know, again, the technically the movie's great, but there's just parts. I mean, there's that part where she's in the Russian capsule and she hits something. She says, "You gotta be kidding me!" I'm like, "Oh my god, that's horrible."
Yeah.
Like she just, I don't get why people think she deserves an Oscar for it.
That's the thing. It's stuff like that where I look at it and I think I don't think that's the script.
No,
I think that's
agree
her.
with you. I agree with you in that she didn't. I mean, she did nothing special.
And hopefully it's not just me not liking Sandra Bullock in general, but yeah,
she's good in Speed.
Yeah, she was good in Speed. Yeah, great. She never should have won an Oscar. What? I said it.
Dude, she picked up that orphaned black guy, which is kidnapping, off the streets. And Brad, what do you think? You're always so quiet.
I said a bunch of stuff. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he said a bunch of proportionate to what he normally says. He was doing pretty good.
What are you looking for?
I don't know. You all right over there?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Look like you're about to die. Your hair's all tousled.
He's been through an experience, man.
I told you I was on a harrowing space experience. I thought I was going to die.
One of my favorite moments. Well, I've got a couple things. One of my favorite shots is when she gets into the ISS, and she almost falls asleep, and she's spinning, and she falls into the fetal position, and it's really heavy-handed.
Yeah.
But it's really pretty too. There are these pipes behind her, and very obviously she looks like an unborn child in that moment. Like she gets back inside, and it's this whole womb.
It's the shot from 2001.
Yeah, no, it totally is. There are actually a number of like sci-fi references in here.
Is this anybody's one of their favorite movies of the year?
No. Well, it might be on my top 10, but it's not gonna be my number one. For that very reason, that I don't bring anything away character-wise. The lessons about survival and stuff like that have been done so much better.
I'm just saying, it's so universally loved. I think it's at 98% on.
I think it's because of the visuals.
It's the same thing that happened with Avatar. Avatar was beautiful, but it was also Pocahontas.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more to hold on to here than Avatar. As much as
are you going to rank it higher than you ranked Avatar?
Shut up.
I would say it's visually better than Avatar. I would go so far as to say Avatar had more of a story, and Avatar had no story.
And I will say there are times when it looks CG. When I'm looking at, looks like it's not very much not real.
The time I thought it looked the most unreal is when they had like tools or something floating in the 3D space. Like when they were like things were crashing and exploding, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
But when she was going through the space station, she'd hit a screwdriver and it'd spin. That's the time it didn't look right for me.
Well, and there are weird things like when she gets in and out of the suit, where I'm not sure what parts of her are CG, because there's a lot of this movie where the characters are CG and they have real faces on them. And so sometimes that breaks a little, but it's still pretty damn good.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. But
my other favorite moment is when she's getting onto the Chinese space station and she's using the fire extinguisher to propel herself properly to get there, and when she runs out of fire extinguish, I don't know, stuff, she throws it away from her in order to push herself towards the space station. That is so smart. Oh my god, like that, I freaked out in my seat when she did that. I was like, oh, that's so good. Yeah, man, it's all the like sciencey stuff about what it's like in space.
All those Newtonian
I just
physics
love.
that just have different meaning in space.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And I also wanted them in the credits to reveal that Ed Harris's character's name was Ed White, because that's his character in Apollo 13. Like, I wanted a shot of him in his white vest trying to save Sandra Bullock. But
Brad, is it going to be one of your favorite movies of the year, you think?
I'm not fucking telling you. You got to wait till the end of the year.
Okay, fine. Fuck you too, Brad.
yeah, I don't know.
You fucking dick.
It's one of those things where it is just so impressive. Visually, like, it's gonna stick with me, and it's gonna be a movie that I'm gonna want to see over and over again, but not a movie that I am going to hold on to. It's weird.
This is a movie that I can get behind the 3D. I'm not a big fan of 3D.
Yeah, me
and
neither.
I don't know if it's a fad. I agree with the sentiment behind that statement.
Yeah,
but I don't necessarily agree with it at face value. I don't think it's a fad.
Yeah,
there's too much money to be made with
right.
it for it to be a fad.
It's a fad that I don't think is going away.
Right. I think this movie, though, it wasn't 3D for the sake of 3D.
Yeah, I agree.
The physics of space. I mean, it was like, if you watched Man of Steel in 3D, that would make sense, because the way he flies, the way they designed his physics of how he flies and takes off, it looks awesome in 3D. So I think that's kind of with this too, with Gravity, like, the 3D wasn't just there for shits and giggles.
It's one of the things I said, why I'm not really on board with 3D, but why it works well in this movie. When you go to Disney World, they have 3D stuff there, but they make it so you focus on something that can be 3D. And that's what I think is lost a lot of times when you go see it in movies, where it's just like, well, we're going to add depth to something. Where when I saw The Hobbit, there's moments in The Hobbit that look great in 3D. And this movie is, technically maybe the coolest 3D movie I've seen.
Yeah. It goes to that thing that I've said ever since How to Train Your Dragon, where I think 3D works really well if you're dealing with three-dimensional objects suspended in space, not touching the edge of the screen. If there is a dragon in the foreground and it's flying, and in the background is just some other stuff far away, the 3D looks really cool. But as soon as stuff starts to reach the edges of the screen, it just starts to break. And here, where you've got just people floating all the time, and especially because in space, it gives you this idea of how far things really are from each other that is really important for a movie where distance is so integral. And it's just gorgeous. Like that opening shot where you see the clouds moving on the Earth, and those are in 3D, and then you just barely start to see the ship moving in and getting closer to you, and it gets larger and larger. It's so cool. Man.
And we did learn today how easy it is for movie theaters to use 3D, because the trailers said put on your 3D glasses, but it was not working, so they literally just put another filter over it, and then it looked great.
It seemed like they were backwards, because if you
the lenses,
if you flipped your lenses backwards, they worked. So I ran out there and said, like, "Hey, you guys have the 3D on backwards," and they went, "Oh, okay," and then they ran away.
I know, we saw you run away. We're gonna say something, but like, oh, James is already on it.
Yeah. I don't fuck around anymore, man. I straight up sitting down next to my brother's girlfriend, there was this middle-aged couple who were whispering very early in the movie, and the beginning of the movie is silent. And I straight up leaned forward and stared at them until they looked at me, and was just like, "Seriously?" Like, the movie fucking just started. Like, they just ended the "don't talk, man,"
or "we're gonna kick you out."
Yeah, like
that's the thing. Always, the whispering, it always drives me crazy, because it's always a. Psst.
And they were laughing, and I'm like going, okay, the movie just started. Like, what's so funny that you're whispering into each other? Like,
maybe they really want to see Ronin 47.
Yeah.
I am not afraid of you. You should be.
I'm a dragon.
I don't know. It's cool. I actually want to see Keanu Reeves in an action movie again. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
What's that one he just released? I think it was like straight to video on demand.
Oh, really?
Or no, same days theaters. It's like Man of Tai Chi or something like that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yep. Next week, what are we seeing next week?
Well, next week
Machete
we're in
Kills.
Telluride.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully we'll get to see Machete Kills like maybe Sunday night before we come back. Or when we come back. But it's going to be tight. It's going to
Or
be tight.
Captain Phillips.
Captain Phillips. My dad wants to see
Oh, is that
one.
next? Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So we'll probably see it later on. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Maybe during the week we
Yep.
can get together and watch it.
Yep.
Cool.
So, yeah. Telluride next week.
Yeah, man.
Yahoo.
If you live near Telluride, come see us. Man,
It'll be fun.
one of the best times of the year.
Ben, thanks for stopping by, buddy.
This was a blast, guys.
Cool.
Thank you.
Give a
Sorry.
shout out for all your stuff where you can find you and we can check you out.
All right, one last time, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. At Benjamin Urbach for Twitter. Or you can check out the films handle. What was it? Oh, yeah, at Riverbridge Film. At Riverbridge Film. Check out all the pre-production, post-production, in production. We'll have some pictures and we'll be tweeting. We'll be tweeting it out. Vimeo.com, search for Jabroni Films. You can see some of our old stuff. We haven't really kept that up to date, so it's just kind of the early old stuff, but you can check it out anyways.
Cool.
Sweet.
Appreciate you coming by.
Yeah, thank you.
Ton of fun.
Door's always
Loved
open,
it.
man.
Anytime.
Anytime.
Maybe next time I'll have this microphone thing figured out.
That's all right. I still don't have it figured out. You're all right.
We're going to get helmets. Helmets to just strap the mic into,
Yes, that'd be awesome.
right?
Just have it come down right here like a like a Michael Jackson one.
No, I was thinking like
Sweet.
totally
Like a-
ghetto, like just a football helmet that
like
we
a football
jam.
coach?
We just jam the mic into the thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Until next week. Bye.
Bye.
Visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can tweet us at real_nerds. You can email us even, realnerds@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook. Hey, stream us on Stitcher. You want to call us? 720-6nerds5. And download us on iTunes. Just search Real Nerds. Thank you, Joe Kempter, for the wonderful voiceover. And also Spark Mandrill for the wonderful late-night jazz smooth sounds of movies. You can find him on SoundCloud. This has been a Nebulous Visions production.